Let's do it.
Talk about this Costco family before I get out of here. The dad's clearly been trying to get famous forever. They're Costco influencers. One of my friend's sons saw the Rizzler the other day in Long Island. Why is it good? Is it because we want death? Like we long for death in this? Like it's the, by the way, it's the darkest thing I have ever seen. There is nothing darker than this. This is why we fought the Iraq War. Get the Rizzler. I don't want, get the Rizzler. You know the Rizzler's going to jail one day. Social media star known as the Rizzler was apprehended after a fight with his girlfriend in the Cheesecake Factory. The Rizzler is the whole thing, really. I mean, the other two are great, but the Rizzler is the thing. Can you zoom in on the chunk chocolate cookie guy's face? What? This guy is going to kill them all Chris Benoit style. There's no way he doesn't kill this whole family. He's going to bring the boom, all right.
What the fuck?
It seemed appropriate based on like Dynamite last night.
Who the hell is who was that, by the way?
That is Tim Dillon.
I've never heard of him before in my life, but okay, folks, this is Wrestling Outlet. What is going on? It is Thursday night. I hope you are doing well. We are 1 week away from Thanksgiving, which means we're not going to be around next week. We will more than likely be with our families. So there you go. But folks, I am Boxman. Great to see you. And across from me is that beautiful hunk of man.
That's right. Voice of Generation, Smark Glauber. How are you doing?
Goddamn right. Doing all right, man. Not doing too bad at all. Just been super busy. I had to spend a few days with my VP of sales this week. So we've been really busy getting stuff done, but we had a really good week, so good stuff, man. But that's really it. Just busy as shit. Smark, me and you got to watch the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight over there on the Totally Inappropriate Team Sports podcast. Thank you guys for having me on there. I appreciate that.
Yeah, right on.
That was fun, man, but very disappointing. I'm sure. I mean, we're almost a week out of it by now, so. But yeah, pretty disappointing, man. We haven't really had a moment to digest and talk about it, but that's pretty much the word a lot of people are using out there right now. It was disappointing. Rigged is another word people are using, which after the second or the first fight, it kind of should have tipped you off. But I don't know, man. It's I mean, look, nobody knew Tyson almost fucking died back in June from something that happened. He lost 25% of his blood. He almost died. I didn't know that. So, and his knee was fucked up. So whatever, man. We got what we got. Maybe we'll get another Tyson fight, but that fight was pretty disappointing, I say.
That's funny you mentioned that because I actually had meant to send you. It's in the private chat now. There's a link. It's from a lot of different pages. There's Newsweek. This is from Yahoo News. A Florida man is suing Netflix over streaming issues during the fight between boxing legend Mike Tyson and former YouTube star Jake Paul. The lawsuit obtained Wednesday by USA Today accuses Netflix of deception and alleges a breach of contract, saying users faced an unwatchable live stream November 15th. Netflix did not immediately return USA Today's request for comment. Quote, 60 million Americans were hyped to see Iron Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet, versus YouTuber turned prize fighter Jake Paul. What they saw was, quote, the baddest streaming on the planet, according to the class action lawsuit filed under the name Ronald Blue Denton in Hillsborough County, Florida. He's being saucy. He said it was the baddest streaming.
Hillsborough County just told me everything I needed to know, but please proceed.
If Denton is upset, he's far from alone. Buffering issues plagued the watching experience for some viewers as an audience of millions tuned in to watch a 58-year-old Tyson, the former heavyweight champion of the world, take on a much younger Paul, age 27. Kentucky residents sounded off on social media. Kentucky and Florida, that is the fucking Avengers of meth, on social media about the fight. Some complaining of the glitchy experience, while others praised Tyson for lasting 8 rounds before ultimately losing to Paul. Some residents pointed to one cheeky moment involving Tyson's wardrobe or lack thereof. And that was the one thing that did come through crystal clear, is just a large close-up of Mike Tyson's ass. The same social media account but so long story short, there's just a bunch of people, screenshots of people bitching on Twitter. Their class action lawsuit. This is actually kind of a brilliant move, because basically, if you want to read between the lines here, that guy's just sort of trying to recoup the money that he inevitably lost on that fight, because he for sure had Tyson, so he's just trying to make that money back by blaming Netflix for buffering and having a shitty service.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a dangerous lawsuit. What, every single time we have fucking streaming issues, what, can we sue? Can we get a class action lawsuit? This is a fucking frivolous, dangerous fucking lawsuit. And I hope the judge fucking berates the fucking attorney that took this case. I'm sorry. Yeah, we all had issues. I get it. We all had issues, Smark. You had issues. I had issues. Hi, Norab. How are you? I am doing well and hope you are too. But yeah, I mean, we all had issues, but can I sue? Can I sue for millions of dollars? Can you? You're on mute. Mute.
Weird that happened. Anyways, I was going to say, I don't think anything's going to come of it, but it's interesting that it's happening. And I mean, I don't know, maybe like I sort of get it, because it's not the same as like watching, like a series or a movie or whatever that just came out on Netflix. It's more, it's a live event. So like, you're trying to watch it, you're trying to watch it live. You're trying to not have it spoiled for you. You might have had people over. Like, I kind of get it more so than just like a normal, like you said, if you're like trying to like fucking stream whatever, the latest fucking whatever, I don't know, Steven Seagal movie, and then you're having issues. It's a little bit different than that, but yeah, like I said, I don't think that anything's really going to happen. Anything's going to come of it, but it is interesting that they're suing Netflix over just how shitty that service was, because it was notorious. It was the biggest thing anybody was talking about after the fight. It was like the result became sort of immaterial. It was more of just meme after meme after meme of people just complaining about how shitty Netflix's service was. And it's interesting because a couple of reasons, like, we're talking about Raw is going to be on Netflix, and like, yeah, they're not going to get the same amount of traffic as that fight did. But Christmas Day, they're streaming 2 different games. I forget one of the games, but the other game they're streaming is the Ravens versus the Texans. Beyonce is performing at halftime. There's going to be a lot of people home and a lot of people tuning in to see a Beyonce halftime performance. So there will be I know it's silly, but I'm not a fan. But hey,
I'm not laughing at the concept. I'm just laughing at whatever, Beyonce, whatever. Okay, anyway.
I mean, it is what it is, yeah, but there's going to be a lot of people tuning in for that, so they're going to get a similar amount. I don't know if it'll be quite the same. It might be more, who knows, but they're going to have to get their shit together relatively quickly.
Yeah, but here's the thing, okay? I'm out here in a rural area. Hillsborough County, Florida is a rural area, most of it. I know there's not all of it, but okay, so some guy has shitty internet and the other guy across the street has wonderful internet. They both have the same problem. So the guy with the shitty internet gets the same amount as the guy with the great internet? Dangerous lawsuit, dude. Too many fucking ifs and buts, proof, this, that. No, Netflix needs to get their shit together, dude. This was a fucking test, man. It was a test. We were guinea pigs. We were guinea pigs, folks. Deal with it. Just like WWE folks are going to be guinea pigs for the goddamn commercials and shit. Guinea fucking pigs.
Yeah. I mean, fuck it. I don't care. Like, Netflix, pay the man. Pay the man a settlement, do something. I don't know. I'm not going to be out here crying for Netflix. They keep raising the prices anyway. Just between you and I fucking stole the thing. I mean,
watch it on Netflix. Exactly.
yeah, I ordered the pay-per-view instead of Netflix because I don't want to give Netflix my money.
Exactly. Right. But I don't know, man. I just think that's pretty crazy right there. It's that slippery slope that, that proverbial slippery slope. That's it right there. It could just lead to really
the
shitty
slippery
stuff.
slope, not like the name of like a water park or like a gay bar or like just it could be a multitude of different things.
Hold on.
To be fair, I don't know that isn't the name of a water park or a gay bar. That would actually be an interesting combo.
Okay, there is a novel called The Slippery Slope. That's one thing. Let's see. So there is a novel. One. There's it's a series of unfortunate events books. Looking here.
I bet you it is.
Let's see. The Slippery Slope. Let's type in restaurant. Slippery Slope Bar and Grill. Slippery Slope in Mudford. Slippery Slope in Milwaukee. Milwaukee Avenue in Chicago. I apologize.
Oh, that's unfortunate for a multitude of reasons.
Yep. That's a Slippery Slope in Chicago. There's another restaurant and brewery somewhere else. There's one in Couchton somewhere. I don't know. There's another one.
That's right. Couchton.
There's a few of them.
Right outside of parts unknown. All right. Well, there you go. It actually is a thing.
Yeah, there's one in West Virginia.
I don't know for sure.
Always was one in West Virginia.
Right next to the Wendy's?
Probably.
They're doing the old WV down there. And Nora said it was Chiefs and Steelers. That's the other Christmas Day game that Netflix is streaming, which both of those have a sizable fan base. And fucking Taylor Swift might be there, so all the fucking pumpkin spice women are going to be watching it. So, yeah, they're going to have similar streaming issues potentially that they're going to have to face and get ahead of before it happens again.
I will bet they have been scrambling behind the scenes to try to figure out what in the hell they could do to fix the problem. I will almost guarantee that they have been scrambling.
And like, I get the idea that you're saying, like, yeah, okay, we guinea pigs, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. Paramount had the Super Bowl this February, the Super Bowl that had just happened, not the Super Bowl that's upcoming. I didn't have any problems on my end watching it from Paramount, legit. And I didn't hear, like, it wasn't a large scale issue if there were problems for other people to the degree of, like, it didn't become a meme or, like, it didn't generate buzz in social media. So, like, it can be done.
One is an actual television company. One is just the streaming service.
Sure, but I was watching it on Paramount Plus, the streaming service.
No. I get it, but I mean, they're just going to stream it off of their little stream, and they might have a different way to do it because they're an actual, like I said, they're an actual television network that's probably was a little more prepared for something like this because they've aired things probably like get viewers like this. And they've been so many fucking networks. They're just they're old hat at this, dude. They're just old hat at this point. Or so I don't know, or maybe this is something they're prepared for. I don't think Netflix was prepared for millions. I mean, I know they're prepared for millions, but I think they just got overwhelmed, dude. They just got fucking overwhelmed with people.
Right.
I was pissed. It sucked. I missed half the fucking fight, I'm sure, but hey.
Well, look, I'll say this. Okay, an honest mistake, whatever. If they weren't prepared, they should have been. If they weren't prepared for the amount of people that were going to tune in, but they didn't have to purposely go ahead and hit us with that DMCA strike. That was unfortunate. Luke repeatedly warned us not to have happen, but
I'm sorry about that. But
he's not listening. Fuck him.
But you also got to remember, you can also go back the next day and rewatch that shit. You can. You can, I mean, you could go back to the Saturday and rewatch that fight. You can go there right now and watch it.
Well,
So-
yeah, but that's the
I
problem is
know.
that you got to get ahead of that particular thing. Like any sort of sporting event, that's the like destination television. You're going to have to watch it as it happens because it's going to get spoiled. You're going to know. It's not like, you know, you can watch the Super Bowl the next day. Like maybe if you like work at home and you don't go on social media, you can pull that off. But it's going to be really hard otherwise. Give me just a second. My dog is being an absolute cocksucker, and I'm going to go ahead and remedy that problem.
I got you. I'll go ahead and read Norab's little message here. He said, speaking of lawsuits, will you guys discuss the AEW lawsuit being moved to Florida, the one with Kevin Kelly and the Tate twins being represented by Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New? Honestly, I didn't know it was. Give me a second here. Here, let me go with, let me do this. Kevin Kelly and the Tate twins. Search. Okay, you know what? Let me pull this up. I got a Sports Illustrated article. I'd trust that one over a lot of it. I'll tell you what, Norab, let us talk about that a little later as I kind of read through this as we're going. It's not a long article, luckily, but yeah, we'll get into this too. Let me send this over to Smark real fast, and we can talk about this too. Here you go, Smark. We're going to add one here.
No, right.
It's Norab's fault.
Yeah, it's okay.
He just brought up something with a lawsuit that we can get into. We'll get into it later.
Well, we talked a little bit. I think it's probably a follow-up because you talked a little bit about the Kevin Kelly lawsuit before.
Yeah, it's kind of a follow-up, but yeah, we'll. I just kind of want to read over it before I talk about it, just so I don't sound like a complete moron.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. That's cool.
I mean, I'm going to be sounding like a little bit of a moron and making a fool of myself. But if I can help it, I'd rather try to lessen the blow of being an idiot. Make sense?
I got you.
All right. So, yeah. Thanks, Norab. We will definitely get into that. I honestly hadn't seen that. When did that even jump into that a little bit later? But I guess we can get into some actual wrestling news. Tell you the truth, folks, it's not a lot. I guess let's start off with some fun. Eric Bischoff, folks. We know Eric Bischoff is always a topic on this show. Sometimes we like him, sometimes we don't. Most of the times we disagree with him. He was on his, of course, 83 Weeks podcast and was talking about AEW Dynamite. Now, this was from November 19th, so he was talking about not last night's Dynamite, the week before Dynamite. And I mean, I'm not going to say he doesn't have a couple valid points in this, in what he's saying here, but I think he's taken it a little too far. And I just want everyone to remember some of the companies and some of the things Eric Bischoff has been involved in some of the companies he's worked for, wrestling companies, TNA, WCW. Just keep that in mind as I read this. You ready, Smart?
Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Wrestling, Hulk Hogan's Micro Wrestling.
Yeah. Okay. See now. All right. See, you're helping my point, sir. I appreciate it. He was again on his 83 Weeks podcast. He said that AEW is one of the worst wrestling shows he's ever watched. And here we go. He says, we're the best wrestle my ass. That was some of the most horrible wrestling I've ever sat down and forced myself to watch. Some matches were okay, but it was garbage from beginning to end. And I watched it last night because I typically don't watch AEW. It's just not on my list of things to do. There's nothing about it that I find interesting or compelling, explained Bischoff. By the way, he didn't explain anything. Why did you watch it? Because, and then he went into, he typically doesn't. So he said this is what he said. He tuned in because he wanted to see if Jon Moxley was actually going to take over TBS. As we questioned also,
He heard that Moxley was out here pistol whipping people in the desert. He's like, well, I gotta watch that.
well, I mean, that could be a good thing. He said, I think it was one of the worst wrestling shows I've ever watched. From the concrete floor in the arena, it was bad. So bad, declared the Hall of Famer.
Does he just not know that Glacier works for them? That might kind of sweeten the deal for all
see that's my only thing is there is so much shit Eric Bischoff has been involved with. So many failed projects, so much bullshit that people have given him over the years. And because he's getting a little fucking checky check from WWE, and I don't give a fuck what anyone says, I wholeheartedly believe he is under some sort of deal with WWE. Absolutely, because he suddenly flipped the switch on AEW. Went on their show. I'm sure he took Tony's check too. But, as soon as we started seeing him on these WWE documentaries, suddenly AEW is the devil. AEW is the devil. Yes, like that biker show on Spike, which I still say was the reason for the whole Aces and Eights angle not breaking bad. I think they were both a little bit of a reason. But, okay, Aces and Eights.
You say breaking bad, do you mean that, like, Sons of Anarchy, like, 4 seasons into Sons of Anarchy, like,
that's what I meant.
Behind the 8 ball on that one?
I meant Sons of Anarchy. Thank you. Now, let's not forget Eric Bischoff was involved in the Aces and Eights storyline, which literally people call one of the worst storylines in the history of wrestling. Okay?
Yes.
But no, this and thank you, Noreb and Garrett Bischoff. You are responsible 100% for Garrett Bischoff, sir. Okay? So shut your fucking hole.
Like, okay, yes, I don't like Roderick Strong versus Latin Mantar either, which was actually a collision match. But, like, you were responsible for fucking Hulk Hogan v. the Yeti. Like, come on, friend.
Yeah.
You were responsible for fucking Hogan versus Warrior at Halloween Havoc. You were responsible for fucking the Ultimate Warrior appearing in mirrors like he's fucking Candyman.
Yeah.
Like, you're responsible for a lot of real shitty wrestling.
Yep. Now, I would say he kind of doubled down. He's also said that he thinks AEW is bad for the wrestling business. He said, aside from people picking up a paycheck they wouldn't get anywhere else, he stated that any television executive who might want to get involved in the professional wrestling business would think it was bad representation of what wrestling should be, and that they wouldn't get involved in it, hurting the entire business, he says. And he kind of continues, and basically he just sits there and shits on Tony Khan for the next fucking 3 paragraphs. So whatever. I don't even need to fucking read it, but I don't know. All I know is he has been involved in some way worse shit than we saw last week. We didn't care for last week's show either, if you remember. And to be honest with you, this week's show was a little better, but this was the go-home show for Full Gear? Okay.
So, like, if he's actually telling the truth that he doesn't watch every week, which is funny because he shits on AEW and Dynamite every week. So, like, okay, you're either admitting to routinely watching a show that you hate because it drives engagement to your podcast, or you're shitting on something that you don't watch and thus can't really actually give an opinion on, which is fun. But I'm just sad that he ended up missing 2 weeks ago, if that is actually indeed the case, where he had missed the fucking legendary segment where fucking Camille runs over Chris Statlander, or maybe she doesn't, brother.
Yeah, that I mean, if he saw that, he would have been like, shit. That he might have said that was the best thing he saw. But dude, that was a total TNA angle right there. That was totally a TNA angle. I mean, come on, please. Please.
I also like the idea that he's like, this is the most outlandish bullshit to be like saying that anything that happens in one particular company sets back wrestling fucking 20, 30, 40 years. Like, the only thing you could really say that about is like the Chris Benoit thing, kind of. Like, I know it's not funny, but like, yeah, that did do like serious damage to wrestling as a whole for a couple of years. But outside of that, like a fucking bad pay-per-view or a bad series of weekly shows for a while, like nobody's like, oh god, fucking Wrestlicious was so terrible that it just set wrestling back for 40 fucking. It's like, no, come on, it was a shitty show.
Well, and it's funny you bring up that exact saying right there, setting wrestling back 20 fucking years. The next story I was going to get into is actually John Moxley, who spoke to TV Insider. Again, he's doing all these interviews that are way out of his comfort zone, and you can fucking tell. But he actually said if AEW isn't a success, it can set the business back 20 years. And I have a quote. That's so it's funny you mentioned that. Again, talking to TV Insider, this was a question on the potential of AEW, and he said, and this is why you can tell he's out of his comfort zone, because he just can't stop fucking cursing. The potential of AEW is so fucking huge. We're not even scratching the surface of it. Just the roster of wrestlers is ridiculous. Is this ridiculous bounty of riches? Just a ridiculously stacked roster of the best wrestlers in the world. So many people you haven't seen yet of what they can do. I've seen what they can do. I can imagine what they can become if we water that seed and let it grow. Second question was on AEW needing to be successful. And here we go. This is not me being in there and losing. Everything is different now. It's life or death. AEW has to be a success. If it's not, the business gets set back another 20 fucking years. I'm not willing to go through that again. Others who I've known for 15 to 20 years are not willing to go through that again. It's at the hands of our generation. This is what we wanted to do and all we've ever wanted to do. The future is in our hands. Whatever AEW, dude, is someone writing this
Captain Planet?
I'm sorry, dude. Someone's writing this shit for him. First of all,
based on the amount of swear words, it's probably Nick Gage. He's like, throwing a couple more fucks. Tell him you love him.
Well, I mean, who calls a roster a ridiculous bounty of riches besides Keith Lee?
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what who's. You just have Keith Lee doing media training for everyone. That's why we haven't seen them in a while.
That's what it's.
We have a menagerie of diverse personalities, and then be sure to stroke your beard a little bit.
Wait a minute. I think we found out what Keith Lee is doing for the company. Let's keep reading a little bit here. Where was I?
That would actually be sweet as hell if they just sent Keith Lee to do all of their press.
Wait a minute. Let's keep reading here and see if this works. Whatever AEW will become in the future is up to us. Frankly, in 5 years, nothing has been built. We're going to build it right now. There has been no flag. AEW has not really nailed down its identity, being a young company. And that's fine. There has been a known flag for everyone to unify, to say that this is who we are and what we do and the direction we're going. We're going to plant our flag. That's starting with me and the few people watching my back and others. We're going to demand more of everybody around us. We're going to unify behind one flag and march forward and turn this into what it can be. This could be the place, the best place I've ever worked. It could be 10 times better than anyone has ever worked. I could see how powerful wrestling can be. We want to be a place we can take pride in. I see this all be on Saturday night in Newark. This could all go up in flames if I get taken out, if the AEW title gets put in the wrong hands. It's my responsibility to make that impossible for that to accomplish.
Ask not if your company can blade for you. Ask if you could blade for your company.
Thank you. Very good. Very good. Any other questions from the press here? Anyone?
I do love how he just like basically said, well, we haven't built shit in 5 years. That was our bad, but the next 5 years, it's like you were doing so well with all your empty platitudes, and then you stuck a little bit of potential honesty in there, and you fucked it all up.
I hate to say, but it sounds like what just happened. All right, we've been through 4 years of this bullshit and done nothing. Let's go through 4 more of it. Enjoy.
Look, we had a rather unfortunate incident where we pushed Roderick Strong for about 3 solid months, and we truly regret that, but we promise you that there will be more Jungle Boy now than ever.
Dude, I think we found out what Keith Lee is doing backstage.
Well, really sorry about that. Danhausen Orange Cassidy tag team we tried to push for about 2 months. That was a real faux pas.
Now I want to read the next question just because I want to. But I don't
Why
want
do
to
we keep starting pushing the House of Black? We do not know, but we'll get better with that in the next 2 to 3 years. Give us some time.
Oh, shit. Wow. That was all right. So
where is Miro? Don't check the desert. I mean,
I think them putting John Moxley on this interview tour wasn't the best idea. I mean, he overworks. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, but I mean, it's not upsetting. It's not bad. It's not ridiculous. It's just like, this is not the you we hear every week and heard for years. This is some other dude talking. I don't know.
Quite clearly being coached up. Because this is the same man who opened his autobiography, which I read, by explaining what it feels like to do crack. So it's not really the same. It's not the same guy.
No, it's really not. It's really not the same guy. But listen, he's doing what he has to do. They probably wanted him to go out there, especially with him being, I guess they're trying to push him as the face of the company. But yeah, that's exactly what he said. We haven't done shit in 5 years, but don't worry, we're going to start to build it now. And I disagree with they haven't done anything in 5 years. I mean, they've done pretty well with the company. It's not, I mean, their doors are still fucking open. They got a TV deal. You can't say they haven't done anything. But I mean, he keeps pushing hard on this, that they're doing some sort of hard reset, you know, and it's like, are you though? But I guess that could, I mean,
maybe that's why Bischoff is so mad. Is they're saying they're rebooting the company and they're not like bringing him and Russo on to come and be like on-screen characters and just vacate all the titles. Get Billy Kidman on there, maybe some Shane Douglas.
Yeah, and then I mean, you know, supposedly they were going to start doing some smaller venues, but I guess that's not going to be till mid 2025 because they already announced a bunch of shows. So, you know,
wonder
it would be smart. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, like, you're talking about, like, he's, like, basically the head of, like, the wrestling public relations or whatever for them, the wrestler that goes on and, like, kind of sponges the company line and all that kind of shit. Like, you're saying he's not necessarily the right guy for it, but then, like, who on that roster is? Like, who do you have be your Miz or your John Cena that goes on and does all those, like, public appearances and just spews your company rhetoric?
I think Adam Cole could do stuff like that, even though people make fun of his size. I think Cole could be a guy like that. I think if they do still have a Keith Lee, I would actually definitely throw him out there. There's a guy that could do that. And honestly, this is what the fucking Bucks should be fucking out there doing.
No.
I'm sorry. This is not yeah.
That's what they should be doing, but they're ill-equipped for that too, actually.
Maybe
because I was thinking about that the other day. Because like you remember a couple weeks ago after the Vince documentary came out, and they were like so giddy to post that picture of them with Shane in the airport, and then people were thinking that Shane was coming in, and then nothing happened. So it's like really like, okay, cool. You trolled the people that tune into your TV show. Like that's cool business practices, I guess. You fucking like don't necessarily promise something, but you like put the idea out there of, hey, this person might be showing up. They're not, but wouldn't it be funny if they did? No. Like it's kind of not cool to like put ideas out there and then nothing happens with it.
Yeah, and they do have someone else that's good out there that they have doing their press, and I'm fucking blanking on who the fuck it is.
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, if you have
Kenny
a person,
Kenny Omega's good at it too.
Kenny Omega's good at it.
Kenny Omega's a good for doing that, but hate to say, but this is what your fucking higher up should be out there fucking doing, not on TV, stoking and stroking their fucking ego. So they're fucking mentally masturbating themselves to go to sleep at night. No,
maybe he doesn't want to, but I feel like Christian would be good at that too. He's got the experience. He spent enough time in WWE to like sort of know how to accentuate the positives, downplay the negatives.
He could. Jericho does, but people make fun of Jericho because all these guys that are actually out there and promoting the company for a good reason, because they don't want to get fucking fired. So they say good things about their company. They say positive things about the company, and then they get shit on for it. But what are they
saying? The hard reset, like WCW 2000, where they stripped the belts of the champions and set up matches for new champions. That's what I was talking about with the Bischoff Russo thing. That's when they did like a best of Nitro, and then the next week everything was like fucking flipped and vacated and shit like that. Or the Big Bang pay per view for WCW where it got sold. Yeah, like I don't know, maybe not. I don't necessarily know if recreating 2000's WCW is the best direction for your company, but you know.
No. But WWE has done these shakeups, these hard resets. It's kind of what they do after every WrestleMania, folks.
True.
And when every draft happens, wrestling companies have done this stuff. So, you know.
How cool would it be if like somebody did an angle like when they did the draft of like one of the wrestlers moved to Canada so they wouldn't have to go to SmackDown?
That's totally a Kevin Owens move.
Seriously, like how would they not have like a draft dodger gimmick? That would be fucking sweet. Like they show up in NXT instead or something like that. Like it writes itself.
Just have Kevin Owens going, fuck this, I'm going home.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Back to Canada, eh?
So by the by, give me half a second because I'm going to turn this fan off because it's 35 degrees outside.
Oh, nice. Yeah, go ahead. But I don't know, man. Moxley he's fine out there doing this stuff, I guess. It's just, my God, he just sounds like he's taking fucking, and I know he's, a sober man, but sounds like he's taking acid sometimes. Guy sounds like he's tripping on LSD sometimes doing these interviews, and I don't know, but I guess we should prepare for more interviews from Moxley, because it looks like they've got him on the old interview tour right now. So, all right.
Oh my God! Please get him on the fucking Joe Rogan podcast.
Who?
Moxley. I need to know if John Moxley has ever done it
for the Who's podcast.
The Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. That would be weird.
Mm-hmm.
That would be weird. That would be pretty weird. But that could be cool. I'm surprised he hasn't been on Joe Rogan. Has he before?
Nope.
I mean, he's had wrestlers on Joe Rogan. He doesn't like wrestling. He actually has bits, all kinds of bits in his show about it. He doesn't like wrestling, but he likes the guys, the wrestlers. So I don't know. But all right. I guess we can get into another one here, folks. AEW. We like talking about AEW trademarks on this show for some strange reason. That's because usually they are absolutely ridiculous. However, these two are not. But there is one, actually just 3 days ago. They filed for a trademark on the term Dynamite on 34th Street. Do you know what's on 34th Street, Mark?
Not the Latinos. That's an 8th Street thing.
Oh, no, correct. The Hammerstein Ballroom is on 34th. So they do have some shows booked. There's actually the ROH Final Battle December 21st, and there was a Collision booked there. But it looks like they're doing a few other things there. So they're going to do the Dynamite on 34th Street, most likely from the Hammerstein Ballroom. And then Christmas Collision is another one that they went ahead and did, which makes sense because they'll probably be doing Collision on what day is Christmas this year? I have not even looked.
Wednesday. That's
fucking Wednesday. What kind of bullshit is that?
I think that's more so the Dynamite on 34th Street. I think it's supposed to be more like a Miracle on 34th Street type thing.
Yeah, that's probably what it'll end up being. But it's probably going to be from like I said, they did have some dates booked for the Hammerstein Ballroom. I'm wondering if that's one of them, Christmas Day. We'll see. That could be pretty cool if it is. I'm sure it'll be a recorded show. But
Norep says we need someone to do the Booker T 2004 gimmick where he hated being on SmackDown after being drafted there. That's kind of what I was thinking.
That means I'm gonna have to go back to work Friday. I'm gonna have to
That
take
does
off.
suck.
I'm gonna take off. Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna have to take off that day, Thursday, and then back to work. Fuck that.
Norep says I hate Rogan for being a hack and bringing in Bert Kreisler and other bums to do comedy. I mean, I agree. 110% right. If I had a drop of somebody clapping, I would play it. But and then also, like, isn't Bert more of like Tom Segura's fault? Or am I wrong about that?
It's kind of a group's fault. It's kind of a group of those guys' fault. And hey, you can't. You can blame Tony Hinchcliffe on that one too. Add him to that group because he's part of that Rogan thing too.
I don't understand that the whole point of that show, because like you have the people come on and they try to like impress him, do funny comedy bits and everything. It's like, aren't you kind of just famous for being Joe Rogan's friend? Like that doesn't really involve a lot of like they just, I don't get, like, you're not like a good comedian yourself. Like how would you know what a good comedian is or looks like? You can't everybody be Joe Rogan's friend.
I kind of like watching it. I mean, he's had some pretty good comedians come out of there that I've watched. The one mute comic, Aaron Belial, he's hilarious. You ever watched him before?
No, I think Cam Patterson, I think his name is pretty good. I like it.
Cam is hilarious on there. He has this one girl, Fiona, who is absolutely fucking hilarious. Roseanne Barr like praised the shit out of her when she was on the show. So yeah, it was he's put some, I don't know. I like it. I don't like every episode, but I mean the guy sold out a couple nights in Madison Square Garden for a fucking podcast. So make fun of him all you want. The guy is fucking laughing his way all the way to the bank.
Hey, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'd do the same thing if I was fucking friends with Joe Rogan, but I'm just saying.
No, see, Bert is not a no-trick pony. He is a one-trick pony. You see, you're supposed to keep the shirt on when you're in public, when you do a show, and he takes it off. When he does his show, that's his one trick. I think that's the guy that takes his shirt off when he does the show, right?
It is. He's basically kind of just like the next generation of Barry the Cable Guy.
Yes, exactly what he is. I totally agree with that. That's exactly what I think of when I see that Bert Kreischer or Kirschner or whatever the fuck his name is. But yeah, I mean, look, I don't mind Tony. I don't really. I'm not quite sure where he kind of got his start or came from, or he might just be Joe Rogan's friend. But yeah, that's an insult to Larry. Hey, listen, I went to see Larry live, okay?
I mean, you're not wrong. He has, Larry the Cable Guy has an act. Like, I don't find it great, but he at least writes material.
Yeah, some of his material was stolen, too. That came out a long time ago. And his material was fucking hack shit. I mean, come on.
I'm scared you motherfuckers get her done.
See, he never cursed, so he never said motherfuckers.
I just like the idea of him also doing the Bernie back a bit.
That's funny as hell. I don't care who you are. That's what he did right there.
Mm-hmm.
Hell right there. I don't care who you are. That's right.
Oh my God, yes, you're right. Bert was the host of the Go Big show. You remember that shit? It was like a fucking talent show that they would run after Dynamite. I forgot, like, it was like almost like the Gong Show, but shittier.
Didn't Jericho host that, or Cena, or
It might. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was Cena and some big lady.
It was Cena. No, that's Wipeout. Or
I think it might have also been Cena. Give me a second. Hold on.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. That's not a problem. Cody Cook, Larry the Cable Guy was also in what was that movie he did? Health Inspector or something like that.
Go Big Show is an American competition series that aired on TBS from January 7th, 2021 to March 10th, 2022. Presented by Burt Kreisler. Judges Rosario Dawson, Cody Rhodes, Jennifer Nettles, Snoop Dogg, and T-Pain.
It was Cody. Okay.
So it was actually somehow worse.
It was Cody. I knew there was some. I knew it had something. And Snoop Dogg has just become like America's fucking awesome stoner grandpa. I don't get it, but I'm here for it and I like it. Honest to God, I do. I think Snoop has just become an awesome guy in his old age.
Yeah, Noreb says he was in let's see, Cars 1 and 2 and Jingle All the Way 2. Yeah, Jingle All the Way 2. I think that was interesting.
Jingle All the Way I didn't even know there was a second one. I didn't even know. You just learned me.
I shit you not. I think it was something. A WWE Films production.
You just learned me something. It might have been. It might have been. It might have been.
Because I think there's Larry the Cable Guy, and I think it was Santino.
That could have been too.
It was starring Larry the Cable Guy, Santino Marella, and other people I haven't heard of. And yes, it was. It was at 20th Century Fox WWE Studios joint.
Will I review the movie? Give me a second. Let me pull this up.
I'm pretty sure he means Jingle All the Way 2, but I really hope he means will you review Cars and Cars 2. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen it enough times because you have children and all.
Let me go to the IMDb here. This wasn't even in theaters. This was a straight-to-video movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it fucking sucked hardcore style. I actually watched it.
So Larry's daughter Noelle wants one thing for her stepdad Victor intends to make sure that Larry can't get one. Okay, so this is pretty. I think we know how this is going to go. In the end, some magic happens and a bear talks. Awesome.
Pretty much. But, like, it is literally Jingle All the Way, except with just like worse actors.
I honestly never saw the first one either. I'm not a big. I literally have like a block of Christmas movies that I watch, and that's it. I watch A Christmas Story, of course, my absolute all-time favorite Christmas movie. I watch Christmas Vacation. I watch Scrooged. I toss Uncle Buck in there sometimes. And, of course, Die Hard 2, and Lethal Weapon. And that's pretty much where I'm at right there.
See, I feel like Jingle All the Way would be, like, right up your alley because it has fucking... I mean, I'm sure you're probably not a super big Arnold guy, but it's got Arnold in it. It's got Phil Hartman in it. It's got Jim Belushi in it. Like, it's if you can fucking sit there and watch Scrooge, which like all of the fucking Scrooge movies, regardless of what take it is on it, it feels like they all last like 3 hours and they're incredibly slow paced. If you can make it through Scrooge, you could make it. You could watch Jingle All the Way at least once.
Right. I'll try.
I like Jingle All the Way. I like the one with Danny DeVito. I think it's like Deck the Halls.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
It's My Wonderful Life. I like that one.
I mean, my wife literally started watching Christmas movies in friggin' July. As soon as Hallmark has Christmas in July, she's watching Christmas movies. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? She started watching the day after Halloween.
Of course.
Yeah, Christmas movies. And fuck you, Hallmark, for putting them out. So, all right. So we only got a couple little more things to get into here, and then we are going to talk about Dynamite. Then we'll talk about we'll get into some Full Gear predictions.
Right.
So, folks, wrestling world has gone crazy. Yesterday, they started going a little nuts because newly elected President Donald Trump picked Linda McMahon as the education secretary. Now, she still has to be confirmed, folks. This isn't written in stone or anything. But wrestling fans definitely had fun with this, folks. We all know Linda, Vince's wife. Not anymore. They are actually separated, and I think that's why we heard they were separated today was because of this nomination. But they weren't very nice about this nomination. Now, she's worked for him before. In his first run, she was head of the Small Business Administration, I believe, for a little while. I think she stepped down. I think she stepped down right when she knew Vince was about to have some shit get in the fan. But wrestling fans were having a little bit of fun.
Words.
Oh, well, yeah, exactly. You're right. Wrestling fans had a little bit of fun, though. They were like, fun fact, Linda McMahon will be the first Secretary of Education to survive a Stone Cold Stunner, joked one fan. Another one said, Linda McMahon was terrible at taking the Stone Cold Stunner, and for this reason, I believe she is totally unqualified to be the Education Secretary. And another, surely the first Education Secretary to have been tombstoned by The Undertaker. Last one, folks, I'm going to give you here. Linda McMahon to become the first Secretary of Education who has been a playable character in WWF No Mercy for the Nintendo 64. Well, wrestling fans are hilarious, aren't they? Aren't they? You're there, right? Okay, I see you. Okay. Anyway, like I said, she has worked for this guy before, folks. It's not the worst thing in the world, and I think we can calm down about it. She's a very intelligent woman, and I think she'd probably be able to do whatever she needs to. So, anywho.
Sure. I mean, apparently, what's kind of dope is apparently she does not have an actual education degree or teaching experience, so that's kind of wild. But I mean, I got to say, based on who's been hiring, my man's having some fun because he fucking hired Dr. Oz. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get fucking Beaker and Bunsen as like the guys in charge of NASA. It's gonna be pretty dope.
I hope so, man. That'd be awesome. Fuck yeah, fucking hard reset. Shake this fucking country up, dude. Let's do a hard reset. Hey, Moxley, we need you to come up here and do a speech.
Fuck yeah, but you're gonna have fucking what's his name, Dennis Knight out here as the fucking head of the Department of Agriculture because he was like Phineas Godwin or Henry Godwin. I don't know, Godwin. I keep saying Godwin. He's one of the Godwins. I don't care which Godwin he was. He was a Godwin. That's all that matters. That's the joke. Move on.
He was either hog or pig. Who knows?
Yeah, of course. Fucking is Hillbilly Jim still alive?
Yeah.
Right on. So yeah, you can bring him on too.
Yeah. He's all good. But all right, let's get.
You know what I was watching? Speaking of Hillbilly Jim, because he was on there, I was watching a little bit of Legends House on Peacock the other day.
Yeah.
And God, that is such. With the exception of like the episode where like Pat Patterson comes out, which is weird, but not for that reason. But outside of that, it's a fucking amazing show because you just have like Mean Gene just out here trying to fuck the host the entire time. He's like trying to get her drunk and trying to like hook up with her, and it's just you just get horny Mean Gene, which was pretty fucking great.
Yeah, but I mean, supposedly that was the real Mean Gene. That's kind of he was just a lady chasing. That was his vice, chasing pussy.
God bless him. My man was taking swings. I wouldn't be surprised if it worked out for him. You got a little bit of HP.
Never know. We might have. Never know. You never know. I just had to stand up for a second. Sorry about that. But yeah, actually, you know what? A couple of days ago, I saw Hillbilly Jim doing a virtual signing somewhere. I can't remember. I think it might have been KS WrestleFest.
Right.
I think that's who it might have been for. If I'm not mistaken. I could be completely wrong, but I know he was doing a live virtual signing on I saw it on Facebook. So, but Norab here gave us a little something about something we had talked about a little while ago about the Kevin Kelly and the Tate twins, Brandon and Brent, also known as the Boys. And this is the one that Ian Riccaboni was also in. The case is going to be moved to federal court in Florida thanks to a ruling today from a judge in Pennsylvania. AEW had argued that clauses in talent contracts that state any litigation must be heard in the company's headquartered state of Florida to be enforced. I've seen this in contracts before. Judge Mia R. Perez ruled in the company's favor, rejecting the plaintiff's arguments that those clauses were unfair or unreasonable. I hate to say, but unfair is not a legal standing. I don't know if anyone knows that. That's not fair.
Sure.
Oh, it's not fair. No, that's not really how it works. Brandon Thurston was actually the first to report this today. And there was actually an explanation from Judge Perez. Let's see. It says the forum selection clauses are standard within the professional wrestling industry, and the contracts were primarily negotiated, executed, and administered from Jacksonville, Florida, Perez said. Thus, enforcement in Florida would not be so seriously inconvenient as to be unreasonable. Considering the convenience of the parties and the interest of justice, the balance favors transfer to the United States District Court to the Middle District of Florida. This is definitely a win for AEW, having it on their kind of home turf in their home state. And this kind of is standard. I mean, do you think WWE goes to any state? No, you went to Connecticut. That's where you probably, I think that's where you had everything. You went to them. You go to them. They don't come to you. So that's one thing. They also have filed a motion to compel arbitration. Look like they're trying to settle this out of court, which could force Kelly and the Tate twins to resolve their disputes outside of any public court. I didn't read that, but I just said that. That decision will now be up to the judge who takes over the case in the Sunshine State of Florida. So there you go. Definitely a good one for AEW. It's not the end of it, but I got a feeling this is going to get settled out of court. We're never going to hear about it. It's going to probably have a fucking NDA attached to it, and that's probably going to be the end of it. Or a gag order, one of the two.
A gag order, you said.
Not what you think it is, sir. It's not as nice as you think. I've had one on me before, a gag order.
They should literally have wrestle court for this. This is what wrestler court should be about. Like, they should solve actual matters of litigation in wrestler court.
I wasn't allowed to mention or badmouth a company for 4 years to any customers or vendors. How's that? I could have been sued if I did.
Fuck yeah. So we're going to have Clarence Mason.
Yep. It's when I got... it's when I left a company and sued them. So because I won, I also had to shut the fuck up about that too. So I'll just leave it all at that. I'm not, it's gone, but I just don't want to go through what was involved in it. It was not fun. It wasn't fun, but I'm not getting into it, but it was nice. It was good. It was good. It was horrible. It cost a lot of money, but life sucks. Then you die. You can't take it with you, folks. So anyway, I guess we can get into Dynamite, man. And then we'll talk Full Gear. Or do you just want to do the Full Gear predictions and talk Dynamite as we're doing Full Gear predictions, which will make this probably a very short show?
Yeah, I mean, we could talk some Dynamite and then do predictions. I don't think there's really that much to talk about in terms of Dynamite.
No, but I mean, we definitely have time to do it, so let's go ahead and get that done. All right. Got a little bit of a different booth. We had Excalibur, Matt Menard, and Tony Schiavone. Still one guy in a fucking mask. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to fucking leave it alone. I don't want to, but I will. I believe we started off with another little Moxley thing, correct? No, maybe? Yeah. No, we started off with the Purple Rain video. Now, Smark, did you watch?
And then the November Rain, that would have been a much better
Vignette
if it was Purple Rain. That fucking leading up to the debut of old Patrick Clark, to bring him out there as Velveteen. Well, you can't be Velveteen Dream directly, but yeah, you have Purple Rain, and then he comes up.
That would have been actually better. You're right. But no, you're all right. November.
You just have fucking Moxley and Claudio in the pickup truck driving around. I can't stand to see you in the purple rain, purple rain. Just Lashley stopping the shit out of Swerve while Purple Rain plays. That'd be pretty sweet.
All right, I messed that up.
Yeah, it's the November Rain thing. I got you.
Did you watch the full video on YouTube?
Yes, but no further questions.
I thought it was great. I thought it was actually incredibly well done.
No, I liked it. I really did. Jokes aside, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about last week, like, okay, yeah, I see the idea of people being like, why don't you pick something a little bit more current? But then at the same time, like, look at how most of the newer shows, movies and whatnot use older songs to, like, I don't know, for nostalgia purposes, and then it like reintroduces the songs to a newer audience. Like the fucking Running Up the Hill song, Kate Bush, like it was on Stranger Things, I think last season, and like it like blew up. Master of Puppets, there was like all kinds of shit from like the 70s and 80s songs that were on the Guardians of the Galaxy that like people love now because it was in those movies. Like a little bit of nostalgia it can be good for everyone.
I remember when WWE used that fresh new song, Great Balls of Fire.
God, that was the worst. That was the name of pay-per-view.
Can we please fucking stop with the fucking fact that fucking wrestling companies, every fucking wrestling company does something stupid? Can we stop with this tribalism? Fucking both companies have used fucking outdated songs. Suck a fucking dick, okay?
Speaking of recycling old songs, how fucking sweet would it be if they like brought back Mae Young's theme song? You gotta give it to like, I don't know, you like gave it to like Julia or something. She comes out and she's ready to kick some ass. She's oh babe, oh babe.
I mean, yeah, WWE is using War Pigs. That that new Black Sabbath song.
And I always thought that was Vince, but I think it's Triple H now too. That just they have a boner for 80s metal.
Oh no!
I mean, I know Triple H is in charge now, but I'm saying like they used to do that all the time when Vince was there, and now Triple H just does the same thing.
I mean, Triple H was using fucking Motorhead. Yeah, they were such a brand new, fresh band. Come on, CM Punk song is from what year?
92, maybe.
Maybe earlier. Maybe even earlier than that. I think it might be 90, 91.
It could be.
I think. I'm trying to you're looking it up, so I'm not going to even guess anymore. I mean, folks, the reason older songs are better, do you know why? Because everyone fucking knows them. You've heard them 1,000 fucking times. They were played 88?
That's right, 88. And since Vince loves AC/DC, that is true. I've heard that a lot, that he's a big fucking AC/DC boy.
I can't blame him. I like me some Brian Johnson, little Angus Young, little Thunderstruck. Never fucking always gets me a little moving, if you will.
The only problem with that song is that they've just used it on like every sporting event and on every like a bunch of different commercials. So it's like it's lost. It's not AC/DC's fault, but it's lost a little bit of an oomph. But that when they were doing the SummerSlam, I think it was '98 maybe. Stone Cold and Taker, and they were doing the Highway to Hell, the video package. That shit was fucking awesome. They did really good with that.
Yeah, but right now, folks, it's not bad to use nostalgic music because everyone knows it. We heard it on this little thing back in the day. You see, folks, we couldn't go on and just play whatever song we wanted unless we had cassettes or I know you're asking what that is, or a CD. I'm sure you're still confused a little bit, people. I'm sure some of the younger people listening to this are still confused with CDs.
See, they had jukeboxes, but then
Oh.
Bubba kept shooting those bitches.
So a lot of us listened to these radio stations, and they played like 15 songs over and over again all day.
Yeah,
so we heard
terrible.
and plus we that was still during MTV. How many times did they play that goddamn song on MTV? I swear to God, it was on every 8 hours. It was on.
You know what was great about MTV was that like they ended up outing the fact that Total Request Live wasn't necessarily always live, because fucking Tom Green came out with the Bum Bum song, and like everybody voted for it to be number one, but they had already filmed like a couple of episodes that week, so he got to be number one for like a day or something, and then they made him retire it. It was pretty fucking long.
Yeah, I think he might be the worst comedian in the world.
No.
Yeah.
We just got done talking about fucking Bert Kreischer.
I would pay to see Bert Kreischer. I would pay you to not make me go to a Tom Green show.
This is a Tom Green show. It's not the Green Tom show.
Nope.
You don't like the Slutmobile, Boxman?
I would not go see Tom Green for any amount of money. I've never seen that fucking stupid movie he made.
Actually, he made two, because it was Freddie Got Fingered, and then I think it was like Road Trip. He was it.
Never seen it. I think he is the unfunniest person in this country.
That is emphatically not true. And also, I think he's Canadian. Well, I guess he's still in the country, but
good.
Laura wants to know, did video kill the radio star?
First video ever played on MTV. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
First video. Now, you see, MTV used to just literally take 10 videos and they would play them throughout the whole 24-hour day. Mm-hmm. So you could literally hear the same song all day if you just left it on, which I'm going to tell you now, a lot of people just turned on MTV and did their shit until soap operas came on.
I watched it a lot when I was a kid for some reason. I don't know why, but just I would sit there in front of the TV and just fucking watch MTV. Like, not even really cartoons so much, it's just MTV. Yeah. Because you would have, like you said, they had the music videos for a while, but then like in between that, they'd have like Beavis and Butthead. I'd watch that shit. Depending on the year, they had like Doria. I'd watch that. There was like all kinds of cool shit that they had on there for a while. Celebrity Deathmatch, I watched that. They had fucking Sunday Night Heat was on there for a minute. It was pretty dope for a while.
That wasn't even on there when I was a kid, dude. It was straight videos. Done. 10 videos a day. Boom. Here you go.
No, they had other shit though, because they had remote control back in the day.
That after a few years, yeah, that started. That remote control. Those were kind of. I mean, those dance shows were kind of the first reality shows, live reality shows. Mm-hmm. So, but was that Jenny McCarthy? Is that what we actually got her?
Yeah.
She is so beautiful until she speaks. Oh no, as soon as she opens her mouth to me, she is just a pig. I don't know why. I don't know what it is.
She's not like, I don't know. Blonde big tits, you can find that pretty much anywhere.
No, she's beautiful. And then she talks. It's like, oh, shut your mouth. No, don't talk.
You heard it here, folks. Boxman believes women should be seen, not heard.
No, just her. Only her. I don't know what it is. Just her. Just her. Anyway, we were just starting to talk about Dynamite, but no, I thought that November Rain video was very well done. And I mean, when he starts talking about, even friends seem out to harm you, and they got the Kyle Fletcher, the Will Ospreay thing going right there. And that, I don't know. I thought it was a very well done video. Probably one of the best. I think might be one of the best I've seen AEW ever put out in their 5 years.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, I purposely went and checked it out today. Actually, about an hour before the show, I checked it out, and I thought it was great. But then I believe we kicked off with another with a match here. This was the eight-man tag match. This was Will Ospreay with Mark Davis, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Ricochet against Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Lance Archer, and Brian Cage. Good match.
Yes.
Fun match, not a bad match. I don't know why they did this little angle with Hobbs where they had him stuck between the ring and the stairs.
I hate that shit.
The guy just came back from being injured. Don't make me think he's fucking injured again, please. This makes me think you're not going to push him again. If you're not going to push him again, please release him so he can go to NXT, because I think he would be amazing over there. Please.
Nah, they're going to push him. They're going to use him. But they was just like, for some reason, it always reminds me of the Cody. It's like, I feel like it's called the Cody spot because it seems like Cody did that like fucking once every month when he was in AEW. Like he was in a match and he was like pretended to be hurt. Nobody actually believed he was hurt. And then he heroically comes back, but nobody cares because we all knew that he was fucking only pretending anyway. Like that, I don't think that that's ever really paid off or been like done really all that well. Because 99% of the time, if you see somebody getting injured and they like show the replay and they show them like being escorted to the back, that's when you know it's not legit. Because like almost every time somebody gets hurt for real, they try to like take the camera off, rightfully so, but they try to take the camera off of them. They usually don't play the replay. Like they just sort of go about their business. So like I feel like if you wanted it to be effective, don't mention it. Like just have them like cut away quickly, have them get stretchered out or have them fucking limp out with assistance, and then have them come back. Like just the fans will put two and two together. They'll notice they're not there. They'll start to think they're injured, and then suddenly, oh my god, they're back.
Yeah, like Mick Foley, cage match,
Sure.
Hell in a Cell.
Well, now that he was for real hurt.
Oh, he was really fucked up. But I mean, that's kind of that's like almost what it's what everyone kind of compares that spot to now.
That was so wild too, because then like he got hurt, and then when the fucking Taker threw him through the cage and like the cage collapsed, he jumped down, he fucked his ankle up, so Taker got hurt too. And then they're like trying to kill time, so you just have like Terry Funk just start like trying to beat the shit out of the Undertaker, which was wild.
Yeah,
like God bless Terry Funk. Like that was he was in that.
Yeah, it was craziness, man. But
that was good shit.
It was amazing. It was an amazing moment. Everyone still talks about it, dude. It's one of the most unforgettable moments in wrestling history. So, but Takeshita kind of pulled out a win here.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sorry, actually, Kyle Fletcher Takeshita dropped Takeshita won, didn't he? Yeah.
Because Ospreay tried to hit him with the hidden blade. He ended up hitting Davis with the hidden blade, and then Takeshita won. Davis, though, I don't know if you saw it, but he had a gut wrench pile driver that was fucking. Yeah. I've never seen that before. He just I think it was Fletcher that he did it to. He just spun him around and fucking dropped him. It was crazy. I've never seen that before. That was wild.
Looked great. It looked great.
Yeah, it looked fucking incredible.
Yep. Yeah. Then we had a little thing with Moxley and talking to Orange Cassidy, which. I don't know, man. I'm still I'm still liking this Moxley thing. I just like that they switched him up from the same old. I may hate this in 3-4 weeks, but right now I'm enjoying it.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm fine with it right now. And then Renee Paquette was outside with the Hurt Syndicate.
That was great. It looked like they were about to hit her. Like it seemed like I'm sure it's just the way it looked like from the camera perspective or whatever, but it looked like they were like way closer to her than they probably were with the car. Like I thought it was about to be an angle. I was like, oh shit. And then they just like stopped.
Yeah, I think it might have been the angle of the camera. You're right.
Yeah.
Let me get a beer.
That's pretty cool, though. Because they come out, and then what's wild about it is they come out and they're doing their promo, and like Swerve jumps Lashley. He hits him with the chain. And he quite clearly has a chain in his hand. And then Tony Schiavone says, I think he might have had a chain. It's like, yeah, you could see it.
The funniest thing to me was Swerve. He goes up, he hits him, And then he goes and runs. I'm like, that was fucking awesome.
He cackled and then ran.
I don't know why I loved it. I said, this guy just fucking laughed and ran. I love this shit. Fucking great shit. I thought it was fun, man. I thought it was fun. But that was good stuff right there. And then we get story time with Adam Cole, which was fine until Roddy came out. And he was out there. Dude, I have no interest in this.
Kyle O'Reilly?
Yeah, I have no interest in Kyle O'Reilly either. And he's
he came out and he was like, "You're not as bad of a guy as MJF. MJF is a ruthless killer, and he'll whoop you up something good."
He was trying to be cool Kyle again. And I'm sorry, but he is awful at promos too. He is is. I mean, he's not as bad as Mercedes, who was literally getting shut the fuck up chance, but we'll get into that in a few minutes here.
They need to bring back the wrap it up chance. I'm sad that they didn't catch on from the Kyle Fletcher promo. Like, it just wrap it up is the greatest.
Yeah, this definitely could have been, but got a bunch of shit going through here. I just didn't care about any of this. None of this at all. I didn't care about the whole thing about fucking being in Reading, PA. I didn't care about the whole thing. It's just whatever. Thanks, Kyle O'Reilly, but no thanks.
We had some good times. We also had some bad times. This is the time we're having right now. It's like,
yeah,
cool.
Okay, literally, yeah. Thank you, Kamala. Sit down. We
they need to do with Kyle O'Reilly and with Mercedes. Like, instead, when he gets the fucking, don't even bother having Kingston wrestle anymore. Just have him like how they used to do Kai and Tai, where they would talk and they would have clearly dubbed over voices talk for them. The whole evil thing. They need to just, like, anytime Mercedes or like Kyle O'Reilly cuts a promo, they need to have it dubbed over and have somebody talk for them. Like, just straight up have them lip sync their promos.
That would be good. That would be fun. But, nowadays. So, folks, we had this Hikaru Shida versus Chris Statlander match. And I'm going to kind of just run the match down. It was a pretty good match, decent. I'm a big fan of Statlander. I really think she's got something. I think she's very good. She ends up getting the win. She actually picks up Shida. They kind of have a little show of respect. And right when that happens, Mercedes comes down. And you can already tell that they're ready to break Camille away, which thank fucking God, because she is so much better than what they're doing here. Here's what worries me. When Mercedes is out there actually trying to just literally cut promos on her own because she thinks she's amazing. And I think she really thinks she is. So prepare yourselves, folks. When Camille's on her own, Camille's going to be fine. Prepare yourselves for those Mercedes on her own promos. But the crowd literally started chanting, "Shut the fuck up."
I'm picturing her getting the same fucking intro to the song like Christian had when he turned on Edge. Mercedes, at last you're on your own.
God, please don't do that.
That's it. Fucking, I don't know what he's doing, but just fucking pull Keith Lee out of just wherever hole you have him placed in. And he doesn't need to wrestle. It's okay if his health's not fine. Just have him cut promos for her. Like, have him be her interpreter. Like, she can say whatever she wants to say. She gets to do her promos. But then he just, like that skit, the fucking Key and Peele skit, where you have the Obama interpreter. Like he says something and then he's like fucking Peele says how he's actually feeling. Like, you have Mercedes cut or say whatever boring shit she has to say, and then Keith Lee spices it up a little.
That could work. That could work. That could. Just to see Keith Lee do something on TV. I mean, there's a guy you could literally use as a manager, but maybe his health is not allowing him to do things like that, which I wouldn't want him out there if he's not healthy enough to do it. So
You appear to have committed trespass with an automobile. This is the most unfortunate occurrence series of events.
To happen on this day, November
Let me
20th.
tell you, Eric Bischoff is going to be most cross when he sees this.
Yes. We'll get his proverbial panties in a bunch.
Keith Lee just in a fucking smoking jacket, just fucking trying to make Mercedes Moné sound interesting.
You know, there's a guy who I would purposely try to piss off just to see what he sounds like when he's really angry.
No, because he is a giant of a man. Kyle O'Smiley says.
I will take your leg and snap your femur like it is a chicken bone.
Mm-hmm.
Properly.
I bet he says the kind of shit that like Gorilla Monsoons used to say during matches.
I don't know. Maybe.
Apparently, Kylie Ray is under a WWE ID contract, which is the lady that like Jericho ran out of AEW, allegedly ran out of AEW. So cool, good for her.
Good for her.
Uh-oh, I see a magical name. As Conan once said about Juventud Guerrera, he and Teddy Hart live on their own planets away from the rest of it. I was a little bit bummed out there. I thought you were going to say that like Teddy Hart was also under a WWE ID contract.
Ooh, that would have been awesome.
Like opportunity number like 800. That would have been dope.
No, sorry. Holy shit, it's only 47 degrees out here.
Yeah, it's cold as a motherfucker.
Well, it was 61 degrees in my house this morning, and my wife won't let me turn the fucking heat on. It's 61. Do you know how cold that is? Cold.
61's not cold, but yes, it is cold right now.
In a house, it's cold. We have electricity. Let's fucking use it.
It's usually about, I have in here, it's set for like 67, so it's only a couple degrees cooler.
No, 61 in a house is fucking ridiculous.
69 in a house is pretty cool, right? Okay.
That's just fun, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a 2-on-1 match here, though, Smart.
Right.
We had the Hurt Syndicate. We had MVP, which it was supposed to be a 2-on-1. Turned out to be I'm not sure what it was. It ended up being a tag match. Mm-hmm. It was the Hurt Syndicate. Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was really out there. And it was a tag match with Joe Keys and Cheeseburger, who got a great pop. I felt good for Cheeseburger last night, folks.
I was thinking about that too. Yeah. Because like, first off, I feel like he's the most recognizable like job guy, like just in wrestling right now. Because like he's not winning, but then at the same time you're also happy to see him, which I feel like is a response that you don't get out of a lot of like job people. Yeah. So I was like, because I actually saw that, I was like, oh shit, Cheeseburger, cool. And I was like, all right. I didn't expect to see him, and wasn't expecting to be happy to have seen him either.
Yeah, you got a great pop. I was happy for him when I heard that crowd pop. He was trying to make it like, this is for you too, man. Mm-hmm. To his partner, and everyone's like, and he's like, no, this is for you. It's you. So I thought it was pretty cool though. But no, we had those two guys out there. But this whole little squash 2-on-1 thing really took me back to something as soon as I was watching it. And I didn't want to think of this when I watched it. It just kind of haunted my thoughts. You know how you let the intrusive thoughts get to you. If they keep doing this is going to be like the Ryback push, y'all. Just like Ryback.
Nah, I think Bobby Lashley will be okay.
I hope so. I hope they don't keep doing these 2-on-1 squashes like Ryback used to do. So, I mean, 1 or 2 more are fine, but if they go like weeks and weeks and weeks and they're still doing this, I'm not gonna enjoy this.
Well, it's funny that you say that because like I followed along there and I was like, because you were like, this reminds me of it. At first I thought King Kong Bundy, and then I thought, oh no, you mean Ryback, and I was like, And I can see how you could get there, but I feel like they're not gonna. I feel like they're gonna I feel like they're not going to invest that much money because they probably spend a good amount of money to get him in AEW. And I feel like you're not going to waste that, having him basically like go down the Ryback path, because there's just way too much of an opportunity to like. I feel like it's a really big money feud of like having the Hurt Syndicate versus Moxley's gang, Death Riders, and also like kind of don't forget about the fact that Ryback was super over for a minute. Like they just kind of they fucked it up and he fucked it up kind of in concert with each other. But
he made Lord Savior CM Punk angry, which is a no. You don't do that. You don't make CM Punk angry, because he will out you on every fucking platform he can find until people hate you. I'm not a big Ryback fan at all, folks, but that's kind of what happened. Mm-hmm. He pissed off CM Punk. CM Punk kind of got him fired, according to him. And there you go. Good stuff. But anyway.
It says it was a fun streak. Ryback used a version of Vader's old thing. I didn't know that. Right?
I didn't realize that either. But listen,
that
I'm not saying he wasn't
all the time in WWE, though. Because, like, look at Orton. Like, Orton, like, he did that shit with Kofi where, like, Kofi fucked up a spot and just loudly called him stupid over and over again. Like, that almost fucked his push up. And then he put the kibosh on the Kennedy's push because he fucking messed up a spot in their match, too. And he was basically gone after that. So, like, that's just a kind of WWE thing, is like, if they already have a guy that they prefer and they don't care as much about you, if you fuck something up, you're done so.
And Kennedy was a crazy one because he just had that fucking movie come out.
Mm-hmm.
They just invested in him, and then he was gone. Like, gone. I forget which movie it was. It was like Black Lockdown 8 or something.
That's right. Him and Bruce Willis were hanging and banging. I feel bad for him, though, because he just had a series of bad luck. He just got a couple too many injuries. But, like, he was really good for a minute.
Yeah. What movie was that?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name.
It was a series. Behind Enemy Lines. Behind Enemy Lines. I think there's a Behind Enemy Lines Columbia. I believe there's more Behind the Enemy Lines. Let me see here.
Right on. Noraps is another fun fact. The last theme Snitsky used was a remix of Brian Pillman's theme.
Oh. All right. Behind the Enemy Lines. I think there's only two of them, actually. There's Behind Enemy Lines. And then there was the first one with Gene Hackman, which that wasn't the same one, obviously, we're talking about. Then there was Behind Enemy Lines Columbia. So the second one, 2009. And then I believe there was another. Hold on here. 4 movies. Behind Enemy Lines. Actually, that was the third one. There's Behind Enemy Lines from 2001. There's Behind Enemy Lines 2, Axis of Evil. Behind Enemy Lines 3, Columbia. And SEAL Team 8, Behind Enemy Lines. I'm going to leave this up because these will be in my collection tonight.
Behind Enemy Lines Endgame. They had a whole fucking extended universe, Marvel styles.
Did they?
By the sounds of things, they had 4 fucking sequels, and it was also part of the SEAL Team universe.
Well, I don't think it was, but
no, you said something about SEAL Team. I thought.
Oh no, it's on there. I just want to see if I can. I just want to see if these can be part of my collection tonight, or tomorrow.
Yes, Box. I'm sure you could buy them from Amazon or eBay or any sort
of. Wow, look at that.
Records.com.
There's actually one from 1997. I'm wondering if the 2001 was a remake.
Hey, Christopher Kane, we're running down Dynamite right now, for some reason talking about Behind Enemy Lines and its numerous sequels, which I've just been made aware of.
Yes, which I will. Let me see something here. The one from 1997 is with Thomas Ian Griffin. Ex-Marine returns to Vietnam when he learns his former mercenary partner, whom he thought was killed, is held behind a sadistic general.
when he finds he's behind enemy lines. Hence the title of the name of the movie.
This isn't. It's kind of a remake, but not really.
Ah, see, Christopher Cancer. I just saw the first movie, so there you go. There's a resurgence of behind enemy lines for some reason.
I'm gonna keep the 1997 one in here. It's not part of it though. I'll make it a separate one. Okay, let's keep going through Dynamite here, man. We really got off track there.
Sure did.
All right, we don't have too much left of this show anyway, folks. We had Swerve come down to the ring. We had a bunch of crazy shit going on with Swerve and Lashley, and this might be probably the match I'm looking forward to the most is Lashley and Swerve, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the one that they've given the best build to. Even with a quick build, the best build. And really, this is the two guys that I give a shit about. Swerve he's been firing on all cylinders. Bobby Lashley, always great. So I just think this is going to be a really good match between these two guys. So I'm looking forward to it coming up. So that's going to be good. But they had a nice little confrontation here. Then we had Renee backstage with Mina Shirakawa and Mariah May. We got some booby shaking, which seems to be the new thing. But anyway, so then we get to the main event.
It's actually, I'll just real quick, like the Mina Shirakawa thing. Like she would do that all the time. Like when I watched her in Stardom a little bit, she would do it all the time. But like she did it as like a comedy spot. Because the whole idea of like Japanese culture and shit is like you're supposed to be a little bit more modest. So the fact she was out there just like jiggling her tits around, like they would bonk her on the head or they would yell at her like "no sexy." One lady kept yelling at her, literally just "no sexy, no sexy" over and over again. What's funny about that is like she did that shit as a comedy spot. Like in Japan, that she goes to US, does the same thing. Like, oh, it's a funny comedy spot. It'll pop the crowd. Everybody cheers, and like suddenly you have a contract. Like it's a whole different ballgame. It's like no, I thought everybody was gonna laugh. It's like no. Fucking became the most over person here just by jiggling around for a couple minutes. God bless you. Make that money.
Sex sells, baby. Sex sells in the United States.
It's like they had Tony Khan just out there fucking flying her across the fucking world, basically, just every couple weeks. Just be like, all right, we're gonna give you just fucking 200,000 a pop just to jiggle around for. Like she's got a good job. God bless her. She's making that money.
Maybe Tony's got a little something on the side. Anyway, we had Renee Paquette backstage with Private Party, and this is where we got Big Boom AJ and Big Justice. Is that the kid's name?
Yes, this is where I dislocated my finger by hitting the fucking skip button so vigorously.
I've got to be honest, folks. I have heard of these guys, but I do not know who these guys are. I'm assuming that this guy, the dad, is a former wrestler. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Was he in a company? Was he anything? Who was he?
Yes, he was in CZW. He was out here wrestling Nate Hatred. Now, I don't know. I don't think he was ever in anything. That would have been wild, though, if there was like clips of him, just like him and fucking Nick Mondo back in the day, just throwing each other off roofs and shit. No, I think he was just like did a little bit of wrestling somewhere and like some shit, like fucking shit heel promotion that nobody's ever heard of. I'm going to post a thing here in the YouTube chat, and I'm also going to post it in the private chat. Somebody posted a photo of Adam Cole with the Costco guys. And the funniest fucking thing is that Adam Cole is roughly about 2 inches taller than the son. Not the dad, but he's like almost the same size as like this like 13-year-old boy, which is fucking hilarious to me. But
yeah. And Christopher Kane, I didn't say hi, sir. How are you doing, sir? Hope you're having a great night tonight. But I did see that picture. Is that it right there? I want to look at it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me highlight.
I can actually go ahead. I'll go ahead and share the screen for those who are not in the chat.
Oh, I was going to do that. That's fine. Go for it. Wow. Yeah. Well, that's about 6 inches. But I really don't know who these guys are, so I'm not going to sit there and trash them because I don't know who these guys are. I will say they did get booed by the crowd. And what's this?
Thank God.
What's the stupid chocolate chunky whatever they're talking? What is this? What is that?
So they are the Costco guys. Basically, what happened was like the dad was filming videos, and he literally said this, and it made me want to throw up because I saw a video of them on Jimmy Fallon with like the headline that like Jimmy Fallon is sick of their shit. I wanted to watch Jimmy Fallon like sandbag these guys because I thought that'd be funny. Well, anyways, he was saying that he like made videos. The dad made videos, and then in one video he featured the son, which is big justice in these terms, and it went viral. So he said, this is a family channel now. So he was like, okay, I put my kid on one time and like everybody loved it, so now I'm going to exploit my child for money. It's like, that's fucking disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. There's child labor laws for a reason. Go fuck yourself. But yes, anyways, so they were doing like food reviews. And I guess they went to Costco and they have a cookie now. They used to have a churro. They replaced it with a double chunk chocolate chip cookie. And I'm not going to say it the way they say it because I have enough self-respect for myself to not do that. And then became the whole catchphrase, and they like rate things on a scale of how many booms it gets. I think it's like 1 out of 5. So it's like the Dave Meltzer of food reviews. So that's kind of where we are now, I guess. And they have a kid with them named the Rizzler, who is not, as far as we know, their child. He's not the dad's kid. It's just some random fucking chubby little neighbor kid or something that does a funny face that everyone loves. And it's weird because the whole idea of like Riz is like supposed to be used as a term for like game. It's like replace games, like basically like your ability to like fuck somebody or convince somebody into fucking you, and then it's like, this is what you're calling an 8-year-old child. It's like weird and wrong and disgusting, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. And like, I think maybe it's supposed to be funny because like they're all fat. Like, I guess I don't understand the appeal.
Folks, I have to get up tomorrow and go to work. I have to get up. I have to go. I have to convince people to buy packaging from me, or I don't eat. And these motherfuckers go on and make videos every fucking day and go viral and make fucking millions. Folks, can you not tell we're making really the wrong people in this country famous for the fucking really wrong reason?
Like, what's funny is like off air a couple weeks ago, we had a discussion about like OnlyFans and OnlyFans models, and like how it's kind of a little bit sad that that's like what people aspire to become these days. They're at least doing something. Like, in order to look that way, you have to like follow like a somewhat strict diet, or you have to work out, and you have to have some sort of beauty standards. They're out here applying makeup and they're getting surgeries and all kinds of shit done to create an image. Like, that's actually more work than these fucking cocksuckers are doing. Like, because they're literally just being like fat, out of shape assholes that just say chocolate chip cookie over and over again. They did some kind of dance. And they have this song called "Bring the Boom," and for some reason, like people who don't listen to hip hop think that hip hop still sounds like fucking Run DMC, which is the most wild shit. Like, Run DMC hasn't been a thing in decades at this point, but you still have people like, anytime somebody does a rap song that's not familiar with rap, they try to sound like Run DMC or the Beastie Boys, and it's fucking wild.
Crazy time in this country, man. But there's the picture you were talking about. If you want to share that real quick, I don't know if you shared it or not. Did you?
I'm pretty sure I did, but if you want to throw it up again, put it back up. Oh, there, you already have it. Okay, cool. There's Adam Cole being roughly 2 inches taller than like a 13-year-old boy, which is pretty funny.
And you know why it's funny? He's Big Boom AJ, and Adam Cole is, he got the boom.
I do like how you kind of just almost had your like taxi driver type of moment. Like, every day I get up, every day I work hard, I'm living check to check. These fucking cocksuckers.
Yeah.
It's just like, I was like, all right, cool. Yep. Like,
exactly.
I feel like this might be used in a court case someday, but I'm going to pretend that I know nothing of it.
It's how a lot more people than me feel, dude, when they see these people. I mean, even look,
I very genuinely skipped the segment. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I saw them and I was like, I'm not dedicating like minutes of my life that I'm not getting back to them just saying the same catchphrase I've heard 20 fucking times. So, like, the fact that people were booing them, like, gives me a little bit of faith in humanity. Like, it would be, I don't think that's where they are, but I would love nothing more if that fucking Full Gear was like in Philadelphia or even Chicago, and they just booed the shit out of them just relentlessly and started like chanting for like CM Punk or whatever the fuck they decided to chant for. Just please, something, anything. Just fucking shit all over the segment.
they were booing last night, so we'll see
What I
what
want to know is like genuinely from a kayfabe standpoint, like Moxley's whole thing is like he's tired of AEW being a shit show, and he's like bringing forth a new A. How does he let this stand, like as a character? Because this is like the most cartoonish, dumb bullshit in the world. Like, how does he not get involved?
Because these guys can't take a real beating.
I mean, yeah, that's the like actual reason, but it just seems like it like stands in like stark contrast for the angle that they're pushing right now.
Okay. See, now you're bringing logic into this, Smark, and there is no room in wrestling for logic, sir. So I think you need to fucking sit down and back the fuck up, okay?
That would have actually been great if they were like right in the middle of the promo where they're like eating a chocolate chip cookie and Swerve just fucking decks them with a chain, laughs, and runs away. That's how you get Swerve to get over again after the whole debacle of like the wrong city in Connecticut that he said.
I would have just sent Marina Shafir in there. Go kick their ass because you know what? Hit the fucking tape. I don't know.
Here's something you've never seen before: a woman, and she starts stealing.
Anyway, all right. I'm sorry, folks. I just don't know who those guys are. I guess I'll try to make myself more familiar with them for no reason at all. But anyway, let's keep rolling with this. Tony Schiavone interviewed Roderick Strong and Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and we can skip that. So let's go to where Daddy Magic kidnaps. Okay. So I guess this happened on Collision is when this happened, where they kidnapped Jack Perry.
Yes.
And they just made Daniel Garcia look like the biggest bitch in the world. I'm not sure if they know it or not, but they did.
Right. What's funny about this is like Daniel Garcia basically said that like Jack Perry attacked him and like did all this heinous shit to him, and like he didn't face any consequences because he said people in AEW are savages. They just kind of do whatever they want, right? So he fucking kidnaps him and like almost kills him is what is implied, because he's got like a baseball bat and he acts like he's going to hit him, but then he hits the bus instead. And like, doesn't that kind of also like prove his point? Is like they abducted a motherfucker and there's like no consequences. Like nobody got suspended or anything. Like there's like no authority figure on the show. Like people are just doing whatever the fuck they want as well.
Well, I remember when Austin Theory got kidnapped, didn't he, by Bray Wyatt? Wasn't it Bray Wyatt?
I honestly don't know because I wasn't watching at the time WWE.
Austin Theory got kidnapped once, and then he came back, and he's like, "No, we just like watch TV and play video games, dude. It's pretty cool."
Well, Bray Wyatt was in the Mountain Dew match. They might have just like taken him to the Wyatt compound, and they just like had Mountain Dew, ate some pizza rolls, and played some Call of Duty. Probably pretty sick.
Yeah, and trust me, I'm not whatabouting this whole situation. This was a horrible fucking segment. Like I said, the only person that Jack Perry came off as the badass in this. Daniel Garcia came off like a little bitch. And literally the last two words from Jack Perry was so damaging to Daniel Garcia. Like you said, he sits there, he takes the fucking hammer, crowbar, whatever the fuck it is. He breaks up. He looks like he's going to hit Perry. He hits the fucking vehicle. And he starts walking away, and Perry just goes, "That's it."
Mm-hmm.
And Daniel Garcia walks away. You know what? Daniel Garcia is a little bitch with no balls. I
think they're doing a show Friday because the pay-per-view is Saturday, so they're not doing Collision like on a proper Saturday. They might do like a Friday episode or something. But that's the problem, is that it's a go-home show. So like there's no reason, there's not an extra week to explain why he didn't hit him. You know what I mean? So like they're just basically going to go into the pay-per-view match with him like you said, looking like a little bitch because like he's furious at what not fucking Jungle Boy at this point, what Jack Perry had been doing. And he's gonna get his revenge on him, but then he decides that he'd rather just like cause slight cosmetic damage to his bus, which could be easily repaired.
We all know what the explanation would be. I didn't want you to have any excuses on why I beat you. If he beats him, that's what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. And like, it doesn't even he doesn't even get the benefit of being the one who tied him up because I'm pretty sure that was Big Magic that tied him up.
That was Daddy Magic, actually.
Yeah, Daddy Magic. Well, he was Big Magic on the Indies, I think. So I just went back in time for a minute.
It's fine, dude. Chill out. Calm down, Smart.
I got fired up after the whole Costco guys debacle.
Shut up.
No, I'm with you. Fuck those guys.
I just thought, why would you're trying to get Daniel Garcia over? This done ain't gonna do it. Nope, that ain't gonna do it. So we'll see what happens, but we're gonna get predictions done after this anyway. And honestly,
this would be like what they were doing, like the Stone Cold thing. Like, remember when Stone Cold poured the fucking cement into Vince's car? Like, this would have been like if he drove the cement truck up and he was about to pull the lever to fucking start pouring the cement, and he just got out and like turned the cement mixer off, and then he just like kicked Vince's tire and ran away.
This would be like if he took the cement mixer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And started pouring the cement back in the mixer.
It's like, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. McMahon.
How's that?
Please don't fire me. I don't want to.
He's just pouring it back in the mixer. Like the most unintimidating thing in the world. It's just going right back in the mixer. It's nice and tidy and clean. It's just, this was stupid. I'm sorry. And then
we did all the presets from your fucking Sirius radio.
Yeah. But and then we followed it up with something even more stupid. Now, folks, I like this Jericho character. I might be one of the very few that do. But this was such a waste of fucking time having Ishii follow Jericho around the fucking thing because Jericho wanted to just staring at Jericho. This was the biggest waste of my fucking time. I'm sitting there going, just why?
It's so wild that you say that because this was like one of the only segments in recent memory that Jericho's done that I actually liked and thought was funny.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, because like the fucking his facial expressions were great because he would just like he'd look behind him and then he would see that Ishii was following him and he'd take a couple steps and Ishii would keep following him, and it was fucking hilarious to me because he would make this little like worried concern face of just like. And then he would keep walking and Ishii would keep following him. And like at no point they walked from like the entire backstage area into the arena, like down the stairs and all this shit. And at no point did Ishii decide to run after him. He just kept following him like he was fucking Michael Myers. It was done intentionally for comedic purposes. But I actually thought it was pretty funny.
But what I thought was hilarious was, and I think it would have been funnier if they had done this, where Jericho gets on the stairs, and we all know Ishii's got bad knees. And he just starts walking up the stairs and goes, "You're not going to be able to catch me, shitty knee man," and keeps running. But Jericho didn't run. I'm sorry, I didn't like this. I thought it was a waste of fucking time.
I mean, it was a waste of time, but I thought it was funny because it was like basically like it was like a horror movie situation, but just like played up for comedic purposes of just like them stalking him like fucking Michael Myers. Like I think it would have been even better, like you said, instead of the stairs. You have them do the fucking elevator. You just have Jericho hit the elevator button. He's waiting. Ishii's just like 2 feet behind him. They both get in the elevator together, but like Ishii's behind Jericho in the elevator. Jericho gets out of the elevator and Ishii just keeps following. Like, if you could have. Yeah, I love this shit. It was funny. I thought it was good.
It was. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't. No, it wasn't.
See, I convinced you.
I'm sorry. No, it was not good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my dogs too. I thought it was a waste of fucking time. It was a waste of fucking time.
Devil's advocate, I will say that I liked the segment. I thought it was funny, but it was also the go home show. So you probably could have done a better like resource management in terms of like time allotment and segments you could have put on instead.
Okay, fine. Devil's advocate. Look, but don't touch.
Jericho starts watching the movie The Devil's Advocate while EP follows him. He's like watching it on a tablet. That'd be pretty sick.
Touch, but don't taste. Taste, but don't swallow. Anyway, we're gonna have to disagree on that one. I did not like it, which is fine. We'll agree to disagree. Now I did enjoy this, where once again we had Jamie Hayter back there cutting a promo, and once again cut off by, which I thought was another good Julia Hart video. I thought another great Julia Hart video, and obviously they're working towards a Julia Hart Jamie Hayter feud. Fine with me too. Right. My God, they built a feud for the women that didn't just have a woman coming out and jumping a woman from behind. Amazing. They actually built a feud here. Let's be happy for them for once. Then finally we get to the main event, folks. It is freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta, who's one of the trios champions. Now, we had a few things throughout the night with these guys. What?
I had one takeaway from this. Because we were talking about, just one. We were talking about last week about how people give JR shit. But like Tony Schiavone is also equally checked out at this point. They've spent weeks now talking about how Moxley has gotten into Orange Cassidy's head, and he's wearing the dark venom, or not dark venom, the dark denim.
Yeah.
Because he's like taking things seriously and he wants revenge. And Orange Cassidy comes out and Tony Schiavone goes, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but he's wearing dark denim. Has he ever done that before? In the last 3 fucking weeks, he's done that. Like, you're just not paying attention at all. They were putting it over on commentary while you were like right next to Excalibur, which, I mean, I guess based on how you feel about him, I don't blame him for not paying attention to Excalibur. But yes, they've been getting the storyline over for the past 2 to 3 weeks now. Yes, he's wearing dark denim before.
Yeah, I tuned Excalibur out too. Now we do need to also, we forgot to mention something when they had the conglomeration backstage because we skipped something, but he was backstage with the conglomeration, Orange Cassidy was, and he told them no matter what happens, he wants to do this on his own. Stay the fuck back here. Do not come out. I don't give a shit what happens. And reluctantly, they all agreed. All of them. And so we had the match. All right. The match went exactly how I think everyone expects any Orange Cassidy match to go down. He always gets his ass kicked and either loses or wins in the end. Usually wins in the end. But didn't in this case. Or actually he did, which pissed off Wheeler Yuta. I swear we all knew how this was going to go. This match was pre-planned. We all could have told you how this match was going to go because this is how every Orange Cassidy match goes. He gets his ass kicked. Finally, he makes a comeback. Out of nowhere, he wins the match. It pisses off the other guy. And we know with this group, they're going to come down and beat the shit out of him. And we know the other guys aren't going to come down. They waited till after the match, and then they came down and checked on him. This is writing itself. It's kind of easy. It's almost lazy in a way. But I honestly thought that this was not the greatest go-home show. I really did. I when this show was over, I said, there's a pay-per-view this weekend, right? Right?
Yeah, that is kind of, I kind of had the same reaction when I was watching the opening match. Because I was like, oh yeah, the pay-per-view is this weekend, huh? And I was like, I had to rewind because I missed it, like a spot. I was like, not necessarily doing the greatest job building this. I mean, they built up a lot of feuds, but like as a go-home show, yeah, they could have done a better job, I think.
Oh, and one other thing I really noticed last night was during the first match, the crowd was fucking dead.
Yeah, which is a shame.
The crowd was dead.
It was a good match.
The crowd honestly didn't light up really until fucking Hurt Syndicate came down is when they started lighting up.
Mm.
That's when I think the crowd started finally lighting the fuck up. But really, they were dead throughout the first part of this show, man. Absolutely just fucking dead to my. I mean, but in that first match, man, I swear I think I heard a mouse fart up in row 92, seat 420.
Oh, yeah, real quick. Speaking of just another takeaway of like they had the MJF promo that we didn't talk about, where MJF talks about fucking Roderick Strong's family just being both his mom and his dad both being addicts, and his mom shooting his dad, and like he's gonna make Roderick Strong wish that his mom shot him instead. Was the whole crux of the promo. What made me laugh was MJF pulls up. And like it's the most central. He pulls up and he's like right next to him is the most central casting, like generic hobo look guy in the world.
Yeah,
like I'm surprised the motherfucker didn't have a bindle. Like he's got like the shaggy beard, he's got the hat that's like got holes in it, he's got this like fucking dirty dingy suit and shit. He throws his quarter. It's like go fetch. But what makes me laugh is that the homeless guy was sitting like he was like perched up against a car that also looked hopeless somehow. It was the funniest shit. Like they purposely made the car look as beat up as humanly possible, which is funny because like there are people that are like homeless or people that live in their car and like they live in normal cars. Like that's not, they don't like also have like a car that's run down too that looks like how they're dressed. Like it was so fucking silly.
I think that was an old MG midget is what they were called. I had one. My aunt, my late aunt had one, and I kind of obtained it for a little while. I had it running for a little bit, never got it running to where it could have a plate on it or anything. But I think that was a little MG midget.
Right on. It just made me laugh because they just like went through like a necessary amount of detail to also make the car look beaten down too. Like they gave it like this little shitty paint job, and it was like, this is so silly. Like why?
Most of those are pretty beaten down, by the way. They're pretty fucking old cars. And by the way, I'm not being rude. It was actually called an MG midget.
They were in Reading, like you said, Philadelphia. So that's why they were booing the fucking Costco guys. That makes sense.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, you can go there too. And by the way, the one thing I did want to, and I'm thank you for mentioning that promo because we did forget to mention it, and I wanted to say this. Mm-hmm. MJF, I like MJF, but to always have to go for the, how do I put this? The low-hanging fruit. How's that? The low-hanging fruit and the cheap heat, I think comes off a little. Nah, goddamn, how do I say this now? Cheap. Yeah. He's lazy, rinky dink. You know what? Fuck it. Indie. It comes off fucking indie.
I do kind of agree with that. Like basically what you say is like just not ever really having a storyline reason to feud with people and just being like, here's something that I found in your Wikipedia. Like if I'm bringing up your shoot wife, isn't that edgy and controversial? It's like sometimes, but oftentimes it's kind of just boring and like you said, kind of cheap. Like it's different from like when Christian does it, like because for whatever reason he manages to do it really well.
Because that's his gimmick. That is Christian's gimmick. See, and Norab said the same thing, and I get it, but you don't understand. Christian turns that into a gimmick, and I know you're going to say, well, MJF always goes for the easy joke, the low-hanging fruit. But exactly, he's been doing this long enough. Christian didn't come in with this character. This is his character now, and it's not getting old. MJF has been doing this same thing, always going for the low-hanging fruit, always going for the cheap heat, the easy fucking joke, the easy way to fucking get heat. And it's at some point, you know, everyone, oh, God, MJF, he's definitely going to go to WWE. He's going to go to WWE. He's going to go to WWE. Do you think this is going to be the shit he would do in WWE? Really? No, abso-fucking-lutely not. God damn you, Luke, shut the fuck up. Um, you know,
Hi,
I was
Luke.
fucking driving behind a goddamn avalanche pickup truck the other day, and I wanted to fucking blow my head off. Anyway,
Snow filled the air, buries everything. Time to be scared. You better be aware. It's a nightmare. You better run.
anyway, I like both characters, but I think MJF eventually is going to have to switch this shit up. You cannot always go for the cheap heat. And I know, oh, he just turned heel again. No, not what I mean. Even as a heel, he would go for the cheap heat, or a baby face. He would go for the cheap heat. I just Christian doing it, and MJF does it to be completely like he's trying to get the fucking heat. But Christian, I don't know. I know Christian's trying to get heat. I get that. But it's Christian's gimmick, the dad thing. So that it just works.
Yeah, well, Christian does it like he manages somehow. I don't understand. It's something that can only be done through the magic of wrestling. He somehow manages to make making fun of people's dead fathers into a comedy gimmick, which I don't understand how that works. Actually, as somebody who like doesn't like his biological father, it's like totally fine by me. But hey, cool, whatever. Like you said, it's with Christian, it's a very like centralized, focused thing. If he just specifically makes fun of people for having dead dads, which is fucking amazing, I guess. But with MJF, is like he just like tries to find anything that's like, oh, this is a shoot, this is controversial, this is real life shit. It's like, no, not really. I mean, I'll give him credit for he at least has people cut promos where they mention like shit about his personal life too. So at least it's like balanced in that regard. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, it really wouldn't hurt you to build like actual storyline feuds for storyline purposes.
Yeah, and you nailed it. That's exactly what it is. He kind of goes for that. I totally forgot what the exact words you just used.
Shoot, controversial, blurring the lines, like trying to do like ECW shit of like this is real,
right? Like it's real. Like this is a shoot and shit like that. Christian does it. We all know. Luke, man, thanks, brother. All love. Thanks. Appreciate it. Come on in, fuck up my life, and leave.
See you, Luke. I mean, to be fair, he did owe you one because he had to like clear up the copyright strike. So,
oh, sorry, you lammy bastard.
He was like editing out all the like shit that we did that got us in trouble with YouTube. So like, cheers to you. I guess
he clicked a button. Would you like to cut the material? Yeah, I know what he did. Stop. He clicked the fucking button. Leave it alone.
I forgot that you also have to do the same thing for what I do.
Actually, no, I've never had to cut anything you've said out before, Smark. Ever. I've never edited anything anyone said on any of these shows out before. Ever.
Right.
Ever,
I just have the copyrighted material because I occasionally like to play excessively long clips.
And usually it's a copyright, but we're not monetized. So that's our punishment is they won't monetize us. Right. They just give the ads to whoever, and I don't give a shit about that. So we're not trying to make money off you guys. So I'm not worried about that. So that's not a problem. Not yet, you sons of bitches. About time for y'all to start paying us. But I guess it's time for us. Let me make this a little bigger for y'all. Let me stretch this out. Let's go to large. Oh, I'll go back to matches now. All right. Is that too large? Let me see.
It's never too large.
No, never. Well, some girls say it is. All right. So here we go. I think we're a little better right there. That should be very visible. Not too. Yeah, we can see that right there. Okay, folks. So time to get into Full Gear. Let's knock this out. I can't believe we're already at 2 hours. My God. I thought AEW was going to take us fucking no time to go through. But anyway, let's go ahead and fucking knock this bitch out. Full Gear, folks, happens. It's going to happen Saturday. Get to knock out Full Gear. And we'll go ahead and start with the pre-show, folks. We have Big Boom AJ with his son, Big Justice versus QT Marshall and the Rizzler, the little kid that I don't know, will serve as the special guest timekeeper, folks. So this is an exhibition as the Mike Tyson.
Dear God, do not give them ideas. We do not need them to fucking steal anything from the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We do not need them to just have a fucking long shot of fucking Big Boom AJ in a jockstrap and you just see like a close up of his ass, Mike Tyson style. We don't need that.
They already had Tyson on. He was ready to fall asleep. So that's not going to do that again. I say Big Boom AJ actually pulls out a win in this match because why would anybody care about who wins this match? Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's winning, but I will say that this is like historic in the sense that this is the first time I've ever like had a match, watched a match. There was a match booked where I'd be watching it and just actively rooting for one of the participants to be injured. Like that's the first time that's ever like that's my like proposition here. This is my sales pitch for QT Marshall. Because think about it for a second.
Okay.
Like you've been wrestling for years now. You have a forgettable career. You're like you got pushed up for a little bit because you were Cody's friend. Cody's gone. You're not going to get pushed ever again. Here's your chance to do something that people will remember forever. Take liberties with fucking Big Boom AJ. Like fucking just go into business. Do him fucking Umaga style. Like when they had the Jackass guys, Steve-O and Pontius, and they were like fucking laughing. So Umaga just like straight up shot at him and tried to hurt him for real. Just do something to like purposely hurt him. And you will be remembered forever. And at least on my end in a positive way.
There you go. Very nice, Mark.
Because like I know that he's long gone now, but like we talk about like people talk about like they would like to have Eddie Guerrero come back, or they would like to have just Roddy Piper, Dusty Rhodes, or any of the like wrestlers that passed away come back for just one day or one moment. I would love nothing more in my life if I was watching this pre-show match and fucking Natural Born Killers started playing. And out came New Jack with the carton, with the fucking shopping cart. We're not going to get that. I would gladly settle even just for Nick Gage to come out and fucking just bring the pizza cutter, bring the boom, just fucking cut the man's face up.
This is when I wish that Regal was still with the company because hey, Bryan Danielson, come on out of retirement for one night.
Oh my God, yes.
Remember when Regal decided to show Goldberg what this fucking business was really about in WCW?
That would be amazing.
That was one of the best nights I can ever remember, dude. It was fucking awesome. He just fucking manhandled Goldberg and just ragdolled him half the fucking match. But anyway,
see, you're more gentle than I am because what comes to my mind is you remember that time he, despite saying that he doesn't do top rope or even middle rope moves, Johnny Ace insisted that Sid did a middle rope drop kick and his fucking leg exploded all over the place, crazy style. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Yeah,
Sid, I'm glad your leg's better, brother. No more pain. No more pain.
Right on.
Rest in peace, my brother. But anyway, did you actually pick a winner for this match besides wishing
serious bodily harm on one of the combatants? Yes, I said that Big Boom AJ was going to win.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll on with this bad boy. We've got. I mean, we're getting way
too ranked after this. Is he going to like be in contention for like the TNT? But are we going to get fucking Jack Perry versus Big Boom AJ at the next pay-per-view, World's End?
I don't know. I got a feeling. I don't. This. I mean, I got to be honest. I really thought that this might have been. I figured with the name they might have done. They might have brought back Colt Cabana for this match. Is what I was thinking they were going to do.
I actually immediately take back everything I said about MJF's character. Like, have him just say terrible, hurtful things about these guys. Like, have him deep dive into everything that's ever happened with them and talk about it.
Well, you could do that too. All right, you know what? Let's just fucking move on here. Folks, the singles match. We got MJF versus Roderick Strong, which I will start making whatever meal I watch this at. I don't care. I do not care about this match. I'm sorry, folks. This was the absolute not way to go. Not the way to go. But it's just a singles match. I definitely see MJF winning. I'm sure there'll be some fuckery. I'm sure the Dynamite Diamond Ring will come into play. That's that. There you go. MJF.
Yeah, I'm going MJF too.
All right. Which brings us to one more singles match, folks. We got Jay White. I'm sorry. Jay White versus Hangman Hangman Adam Page. Hangman. I mean, they're trying like hell to put this fucking guy over. I just always flash back to when Chris Jericho said within a year this guy is going to be a massive star. Adam Page, folks. That's who I got for this match. I don't. Jay White doesn't win shit and doesn't have to win this match.
Well, Jay White won the last one, the pay-per-view that just happened, or not just happened, but the last pay-per-view, and they're building the whole feud on how Hangman can't get one over on Jay White. So if they're going to want to keep this feud going, I think they are, then you're going to have Hangman win.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, we agree on that one. Now, this actually, folks, I'm kind of looking forward to this match. Actually,
yeah,
this is a 4-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. I am a big tag team wrestling guy. We got Private Party versus the Outrunners, which these guys are just a nostalgic, fun fucking time to watch out there. I like these guys. Versus the Kings of Black, which is Malachi Black and Brody King, and the Acclaimed, which we know who that is. So out of these four, now we got Private Party, who right now is the champions. I see absolutely no reason, and boy, I think there's going to be some backlash if they do take those titles off of Private Party right now. I definitely think the Outrunners do deserve the titles, but I think it's a little too early for them. They need to get them a little more known, get them on TV a little more. But I'm sticking with Private Party retaining here. And God, I hope, oh my God, I can just see the backlash. It doesn't matter who fucking wins them, folks. I can see the backlash if they get those titles off those guys. It will be horrible, but I'm saying they retain. Go ahead, Smart.
I don't think they're going to have a super long run because I think it was more about them getting the titles and them keeping the titles. But yeah, I don't think that you take the titles off of them quite yet. I think you do a little spot where you tease like the Outrunners might win, and then you like gauge the reaction. And if people are still hot for it, maybe next month or like the beginning of the year next year, you have them win the belts. Yeah. But in the meantime, yeah, I think Private Party keeps it.
Yeah, I think that's much better. Yeah, you got it. I think you're right. It's just too early. But the Outrunners definitely will have a title run, and I will say early 2025 is when that should happen. I don't think it should happen any earlier than January, February. But we got a singles match here, folks, for the AEW TBS Championship, which Mercedes Moné walks around like she is the champion of the world, not just the TBS champion. She'll be down there with Camille, and this is against Chris Statlander. I got to be honest. If I was Tony Khan and I heard the reaction Mercedes Moné got last week, I would definitely have Camille turn on Mercedes, lose her the title, and have her do something else without Camille. Just completely, almost like a hard reset. Thank you, John Moxley. A reboot of Mercedes. You have to do this. It's not working. Something's got to be done. Let Chris Statlander take that title. She's fucking over. Everyone likes her. She's been a great babyface. Statlander's my pick.
I mean, I want to see her win, but does she win is the question. Because like I could see her winning, but I could also see like a couple more months of Mercedes with that belt. Because it seems like as soon as she loses that belt, they're gonna like try to fast track her into the main women's title.
Exactly.
So it's just gonna go from title to title. I don't really see any reason why you shouldn't put the belt on Chris Statlander. Like the feud sucks shit, but people like Chris Statlander. I like Chris Statlander, so yeah, I'll agree with you.
I mean, if you okay.
Like, I know we've been all just agreeing with each other so far, but it's kind of the nature of the card at the moment.
It is. It is. Which brings us to, like I said, probably the match I'm actually looking forward to the most. Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley. This is just a singles match, folks, but I think this is going to be a fucking really good match. And Lashley just came in, folks. To not put Lashley over in this match would be a huge mistake, in my opinion, even if he has help from Shelton Benjamin, or from MVP. Lashley, one way or the other, by hook or by crook, has got to go over in this match. And actually, I think if he actually wins by a little bit of interference, might actually continue this storyline like I think it should.
Mm-hmm.
So I am definitely going with Bobby Lashley here by some sort of interference or help from MVP.
I agree. I think Lashley's going to win. I think there will be, like you said, some fuckery. I'm going to just make it a little bit more different to just not completely agree with everything that you said. I think he's going to just have Swerve like pass out and the referee stops the match. It's like he doesn't necessarily quite beat him, but Swerve just takes as much punishment as he can and he passes out and the referee stops him.
Now, my only other thought in this match, which this is going, I guess we could call this outside the box. What if Nana actually does end up turning on Swerve and actually is with the Hurt Syndicate?
It's funny you say that because that thought came into my head, but I was like, I don't know if that'll happen. But because, like, what would you do with two managers in the Hurt Syndicate? But that's kind of potentially more of the reason for that to happen, is you wouldn't expect it to happen. It'd be interesting.
It could work, and he doesn't have to be a manager in the Hurt Syndicate. He could just be a recruiter, basically. He could be the guy out there just walking around, bringing people in and getting people in the Hurt Syndicate. Matter of fact, that wouldn't be the worst storyline in the world. I don't think that'll happen. I was just giving another kind of I was going devil's advocate here, but that could play out, folks. That would be a great swerve, to be honest with you. No pun intended.
Yeah, shit, they're gonna swerve.
Yeah, they could. I think that would, you know what, dude, that would be something pretty good, but it would get shit on. It would get shit on, even if they did it.
About 10 minutes late, but hi, Scott.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, man? So now let's go up to the TNT Championship. We already talked about it. Yes, let's go to the
Norab says have QT win so you can get more heat in AAA.
No, stop this stuff. Again, TNT Championship, folks. This is the Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia. After Daniel Garcia got bitched out like he did, I would he's losing. He should lose. He's a loser. Jack Perry keeps the fucking title all the way. I don't know why you would. I don't know. I don't know why you would take the titles off of the Bucks and then take the titles off of him when he was in that, and then I don't know. They may, but what would Daniel Garcia do with that fucking title?
That's the problem, though, is I could see them putting the belt in Garcia because they just signed Garcia to that like long-term extension or contract or however you want to phrase it. And like he's a big deal to them. You wouldn't necessarily know it based on his like the way he's portrayed on the show, because like you said, they have kind of made him look like a little bitch. But I could see that also being the thing is like this is his big like revenge comeuppance. He gets the belt. I don't want that to happen. I like Jack Perry and I like what he's been doing with the belt, and I'd like to see that continue. But I mean, who knows? Like, he's the most credible person that's challenged for the belt at the moment. I'm gonna go Jack Perry just based on that's what I want to see, but that's the prediction I have the least amount of confidence in.
All right. Let's see. At least we both agree on that. So that's out of the way. Regular singles match here, folks. No specialty stipulation or anything. Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher. Honestly, I think this storyline continues. I think Kyle Fletcher wins this by Don Callis family fuckery some way or the other, which continues this storyline even further. So I got Kyle Fletcher here winning by bullshit win.
I feel like Ospreay's going to win it, but I feel like the feud's still going to continue. I don't know like how you do that, but I just feel like Ospreay wins, and then like Fletcher just becomes even more obsessed with him and trying to prove that he's better than him and like not a ripoff or whatever the fuck the storylines are trying to say is.
See, I feel like if Ospreay wins, this story is over.
Yeah, I know, but like, and you're not wrong. Like, it makes more sense that Fletcher wins, but I feel like they're not going to do every match by the book. Like, I feel like something like an unexpected win is going to occur for someone. It's like I could see Ospreay.
See, I feel like Ospreay winning is by the book. That is exactly by the book, and I think Fletcher needs to win this match. The guy just shaved his fucking head, Smart.
Because, well, he hears voices in his head. They talk to him. He understands. They talk to him. Like, maybe that's what's going on. Maybe he has like fucking Ted DiBiase Jr. and Manu come out to help him.
I don't know. I still say Fletcher wins this fucking match, man. I still say it. I got
RKO.
I'm now this match has me intrigued because this is one we totally disagree on. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I really do. I just feel like if the babyface wins this match, I feel like it's done. There's no storyline after that. Babyface got his comeuppance. I don't see it.
Norab says Don Callis stinks. I agree.
Hey,
I'm a fan.
Watch your fucking language in this chat room, goddammit. Say anyone stinks. What kind of rude piece of shit are you? I'm kidding, Norab. You're a good dude.
No more saying cuss words.
That just reminded me of my daughter. I was on the phone with someone and said stupid the other day. And Daddy, it's a bad word. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
It gets a lot worse. Here's a couple of even worse words.
I'm like, you're right. He's an idiot. She goes, oh, I don't know that. I don't know that one. I said, okay.
It's like, yeah, but to be fair, you haven't met this cocksucker. I mean, he's a real piece of shit.
No, I'm not doing that to my 5-year-old. All right. So finally, we're at the last fucking match. We can wrap this show up. Singles match for the AEW. This is the AEW World Championship, folks. This is going to be it. This is going to be Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. Now, I don't think this is going to be the match where Orange Cassidy gets his ass kicked the whole time and makes the win. I think he's going to get his ass kicked most of the time and lose. I don't see why they would, with what they've been investing in Moxley, chasing the title makes no sense. Holding the title does, but they've also been building Orange Cassidy, and really, if Orange Cassidy wins, you could, even though it makes no sense, there could still be a storyline for Moxley to chase the title, but I don't think it works as well. I think Jon Moxley wins this match.
Yeah, I think Moxley wins too, because I think that if you believe what they're saying, it's supposed to be leading to, regrettably, Darby Allin winning the belt, which I don't want to see, but that's the rumor, which, by the way, we didn't mention that, but that might have been my favorite part of Dynamite, was like Yeah, Darby Allin versus Claudio. And he's like, I'm gonna run through every one of the Death Riders. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you all. And Claudio, today is your day. And then Claudio just beats him clean. And I'm like, fuck yes, this is awesome.
By the way, fucking Claudio's a beast, just fucking literally holding that guy while walking up the fucking stairs, man. Claudio's a fucking beast, bro.
He was like, I'm gonna go through the Death Riders one by one, and then like Claudio just beats his ass. Like it was like kudos.
I'll say it again. I would not put a championship on that guy. He is too fucking reckless. I wouldn't want the liability, dude. I'm sorry. I'm a responsible business owner. Excuse me for that. I apologize for being a responsible business owner who doesn't want some fucking guy's death on my fucking roster. Excuse me that I would do something crazy like that. Sorry.
Now hold on a second. I think that's some rumors and innuendo. There's nothing wrong with having a man die on one of the shows that you're promoting, which is why I'm here to announce Ric Flair's retirement match. He's retiring from being retired. He's going to come out. He's wrestling Nick Gage in a 1,000 light tubes death match.
Yeah. You can get on Podcast Row for $2,200. And that's not rumor or innuendo. $2,200, you can sit down there and talk to all kinds of wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Each person. $2,200. Anyway, did you pick? I got Moxley. Did you pick?
Yeah, I got Moxley too.
You got Moxley. I think this continues, and I think they're going to turn Orange Cassidy into this leader. I would put the fucking belt on Cassidy before I put it on fucking Allen. All day, every day.
I would too,
but that's just me. Call me crazy. So, all right, folks, that is that. We are almost.
I mean, if it was me, I'd put the belt on Lashley, but whatever.
Not yet.
Well, I mean, yeah, not right now, but I'm saying you just keep building up you build up the Death Riders, you build up the Hurt Syndicate, it culminates in Lashley v. Moxley. Lashley wins.
Oh, Death Riders and Hurt Syndicate is going to end up being the feud of 2025, I believe.
They're going to for sure have them wrestle their whatever the fuck their War Games matches. I forget what it's called. Blood and Guts.
That should be a very good feud, folks. So hopefully everyone will be around for it. But we are coming up on 2.5 hours, folks. It has been a long show, which I did not expect tonight, but it's been a good show. I think we've had a couple good conversations tonight, and I guess on that, Smark, do you have anything else? Are we good?
Yes, a very important retraction from last week's show. Correction, Tony Schiavone said his son was, quote, unemployable, not inhirable. It's from
semantics, folks. You did not have to correct yourself, sir. That was that's the same thing. Shitty is even a word you could use for that. So fine. Semantics, unemployable, inhirable. Just sounds like Moxley's trying to come up with words to use in a fucking interview. But anyway, whatever, Schiavone. But anyway, folks, I think we are done. I think we've gotten into way more than I thought we were going to, but it was an enjoyable show. So thank you, Smark. And of course, Smark, tell us where they can. Are you guys going to be on this Monday? I'm sure you are. It's not hard.
Well, yes and no. Totally Inappropriate Team Sports Tits is where you can find me and us, the show. It's myself, Cheese, Luke Birch, and Matt. I'm not going to be on because it's Thanksgiving weekend, Thanksgiving week, and I have some stuff I need to attend to. But Dirk is going to be filling in for me that show. He was on the Totally Inappropriate Team Sports, the watch along we did with the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. He actually did fucking amazing. He filled in almost all of the dead air. He did a really good job of covering up for when we had nothing to talk about. So cheers. Check him out. Check Totally Inappropriate Team Sports out this Monday and each Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on the YouTubes.
All right. So there you go. And folks, I think I'll be back this week with Hollywood Hangout. I'll get something done. Last week I did end credits bloopers. I had a great time doing it. Actually, it was way more fun than I was expecting. I expected to have fun, but not as much as I did doing that show. It was a pretty awesome show, to be honest with you.
And cheers to you, because you did 3 shows in a row. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You're fucking getting your Iron Man on.
I did. I was thinking about, I actually thought about doing the Hollywood Hangout show on Sunday, but what happens is if I skip it on Saturday, by Sunday, I'm like, nah, I just don't feel like doing it. I'll just fucking skip it. But I won't be on next week, but I definitely will be doing something this week. I'm just going to take next week off completely for Thanksgiving week, all week. And yes, Norab, you are correct, sir. Dirk does rule. And I think that's it. So you guys can catch me Hollywood Hangout this Saturday night on Mixler, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Mixler.com, or HollywoodHangout.mixler.com. And there you go, folks. We are wrapped up. Everything's done.
That's right.
You guys, we will not be on next week. Have a very happy, safe Thanksgiving.
Right.
And I think that's it. Eat a lot of turkey. Don't get sick. Drink.
That's right.
Merry. And gear up for Black Friday and Christmas.
Fuck yeah. Eat your turkey. Drink some wild turkey. Like, just do it Michael Hayes style. Just have yourself a fucking wild time.
And if you're really hammered, please email Dave Meltzer fake results. Please.
God bless him.
Email, just give Dave Meltzer fake tips. Let's see what we can get out there, folks. If you do, just say they all came from this show, and we will definitely let you know. But all right, folks, and you guys have a great one once again. Have a very, very good Thanksgiving, folks. I hope you all are. Everybody has a good time being with family, and just enjoy yourself. And that's it.
Yeah.
All right, folks.